This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter college. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. Two a time, two a time. Time to grind, time to shine.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D. And this is Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. Got a little bit of a late start today, but that's okay. We're going to dive right into things. I'm your host, Stephen Daniels. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. That's right. You guys can do that there. Also, on your way in, make sure you hit the like button if you haven't done so already and subscribe to the channel. We're less than 100 subscribers away from 11,000 subscribers, and that's only with your help. So shout out to you all. You guys are the best fans in the world. So super excited to be hanging out with you today. We got a big show, major show today. It's going to be huge. It's going to be so huge. I'm super excited about it. If you haven't signed up to become a member today, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. So make sure you do it. Sign up, become a member today, become part of the family. That's right. Sign up today to become a member of the family. But it's gonna be good stuff. Also, hey, look, if you want to help the channel grow by donating, there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can use the YouTube live super chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. And you can also use Cash App or PayPal, which is $MSM Podcast Network, or the QR code that's right on your screen, or you can use MSM Podcast Network or use the QR code that's right on your screen. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, the #1 place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard to find items. Make sure you follow ZSM Sports today. And make sure you give them a follow on Instagram at SportsZSM, man. Also, if you want to get tickets, less is more events, Lime tickets. You want tickets to anything across the country, any game, less is more events is the way to go. Make sure you give them a call at 202-930-3533 today. They have prices for less than the competition, allowing you to have more fun. It's going to be good stuff. And last but certainly not least, Tailgreeter. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android devices. Make sure you all do that today. It's gonna be good stuff. So make sure you guys download the app. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And when you do it, big reminder: this is the last week to get your Philly Finvasion tickets for the game only. On Saturday night, we're stopping game ticket sales, but the tailgate tickets, all-inclusive tailgate, will still be sold all the way up through almost pretty much game day. So we'll have that available. If you want to go to the Saturday night meet and greet, game tickets, or all-inclusive tailgate, go to tailgreeter.com, search Philly Finvasion, and get your tickets today. The link is in the description below, too, so make sure you guys check that out. Yeah, so we got a big show lined up for you today. Cameron was supposed to come on. Cameron, last minute, had a work emergency that he had to take care of, so he was not able to join us today. So, I hit up a lot of people. I was like, who can I hit up to do Throwback Thursday with me? And I started, reaching out to some people, and everybody, kind of busy. Everybody's got their own. It's tough when you do a show every day. I love doing it, but sometimes you can only talk about the same thing so much. And I was like, well, I want to reach out to somebody that I don't normally reach out to do a show. And I was able to reach out to this person, and they were gracious enough to get me to come on this morning and give a little bit of time. A lot of stuff going on. As soon as he gets up here, I'm going to bring him on. I'm super excited for this week, man. It's Buffalo Bills. It's rivalry week. For me, there was so much growing up in the 90s of watching Jim Kelly and Dan Marino and just watching those games as a kid. And I know a lot of us, the Buffalo Bills is one of our biggest rivalries, if not the biggest, to some Dolphins fans. So this week's a big week. And we know for the last few years, they've had our number. And, we've gotten here and there, but going into Buffalo, that's been a tough task over the last several years. As a matter of fact, the last time we beat Buffalo in Buffalo, man, I'm trying to look. Last time we beat Buffalo in Buffalo, it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. 2016, it looks like. Miami won 34-31, but that's been, it wasn't until 2011. So we've won once in like the last 12 years. We've won once in Buffalo, I think. So it's been a minute, and it's gonna be an interesting day nonetheless. All right, let me say hello to the people in the chat this morning real quick. Want to say hello to John 83, Dolphin State of Mind, Marino's Goat, Trucker Sean, Andrevius Clemente, New Finland, Taz, Rick Spar, Paul Glover, Corey Walker, and Flavor J. Good morning this morning. Thank you for being in the chat. But without further ado, let me bring in the co-host, special co-host for the day. Actually, he's just here to hang out with me for a little bit. He's got stuff. He's a busy guy too, but he made time for me, and I'm super excited about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Juice OJ McDuffie. What's up, man?
What's up, my man? What's going on, bro?
How are you, dude?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm thanks for calling me, man. I'm happy to get on, man. Hang out as long as I can today, bro.
Dude, there is so much. Trying to fix my soundboard here. There's so much to talk about and get into. I guess first things first, let's just talk about recent stuff. How crazy is this team right now?
This team is pretty crazy. I mean, it really is, man. It's like it's been so much fun to watch. You know, so many people gave so little credit to the first two wins on the road. You know, a very good LA Chargers team. New England always gives us fits up there. So the credit that we didn't get for those wins, no matter how you want them, you know, was puzzling to me. But then to come home, and no matter what, to come home and play against a Denver Broncos team who, you know, been playing decent. They hadn't won yet, but they, you know, it wasn't bad. They were 3 points, 4 points.
3 points in the first 2 weeks. They had lost a total of 3 points.
Correct. And then a drop of 70 on them.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Only in college. We beat Cincinnati 81-0. So, and that was bad.
You didn't have to do them like that, Juice. Penn State out here trying to.
I didn't get in. My touchdown got called back, dog. So I was trust me. Everybody ate except for me that day. I mean, I had some yards, but damn, you got to get in the end zone. You getting 81 points.
I feel like we've been on the opposite side of that, unfortunately, as Dolphin fans. You know, we're not going to bring it up, but we've been on the opposite side of a butt whooping like that. But to be on the winning side of that was something for me that I've never felt. It was a euphoria as a Dolphins fan that I was like, holy cow, what is going on here? What is this? Is this the team that we've been dreaming of for 20 years, 30 years? And there's just something special about this team. The quarterback and Tua, Tyreek Hill, in my opinion, is the best player in the NFL. That's not a quarterback, period, hands down. It's not even close. There's just so much to like about this team right now. And the defense is starting to come together, and they have stepped up when they needed to step up in all 3 games. Right. And, you know, there's a learning curve with the new defensive coordinator. I get that. But this team seems to be like, I don't know who's going to. How do you stop speed? You can't stop speed, right?
Right. You can go the New England approach, you know, go 3 safeties high and hope we make a mistake along the way. Or you can get a little bold, like, you know, like Denver did, and pay the price. You know, they really did a really good job. See, here's the thing. You mentioned Tua and Tyreek, but, man, does Mike put those guys in great position to be successful? You move Tyreek Hill around, what do? Do you move him all the way across the formation? They're playing a lot of cover 2 where there's help over top for him. But if you move them all the way across, are they on point over on the other side to switch to cover 2 and stay cover 4 on the other side, which is, you know, we call it cover 6. There's like certain times where pick your poison on what are you going to do. So if you're going to stop the pass, which they, you know, teams really want to do, and that's what they did to us last year. Now look at what our running game's able to do. You know, look at our O-line.
Something
Yeah. I mean, honestly, look what our O-line's been able to do. And, you know, that's been the most impressive part to this whole thing.
Butch Berry is my MVP. Butch Berry is my MVP as far as I'm concerned.
Who's that?
Butch Berry, offensive line coach. He's my MVP.
Offensive line coach, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and hell, look at this. Like, now everybody knows his name. right? Didn't know his name either way. The team was playing well, or the offensive line was playing bad.
Bad. They would know his name.
Bad, they really know his name, right?
Well,
so
nine offensive line coaches in 10 years, Juice. Something eventually's got to go right. The law of averages state you do something enough, eventually you're going to hit. And I think the Dolphins have hit with Butch Berry, and I'm excited about it. Let's kind of dive into the wide receiver core. So, you talk about the defense and the different ways you can play against speed. Here's the problem. Most defenses have one or two guys in the secondary that are really, really good. And there's some teams that have elite guys, right? Jets have Sauce Gardner. They're out there, So, but here's the reality of the situation, Jews. We have four guys that can be on an Olympic 4x100 track team and be legit in the Olympics. If you stop Cheetah, you got to go against the Penguin. And if you stop the Penguin, you got to go against Raheem Moser. And if he's not in the game, you got Devon Achane, who's probably in the game, who broke out of nowhere, 4 touchdowns, 200 yards rushing. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't even think Ricky did that. And if he did, it was once or twice maybe in his entire career.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't feel like he did it in his rookie year. Yeah, it was really a second time getting some playing time as well. Achane is a
you got to change the way you say it, just like
yeah, I know it's tough, man. I like it. It sounds so easier to say Achane, but Achane is what it is. And his mama named him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. It's like that's how it rolls. We didn't learn about Pat Surtain. We called him Surtain for how long? Until we
for years, I feel like.
Exactly right. So I'm glad we got this done in his rookie year. So we won't be making that mistake for his 10-year career here with the Miami Dolphins.
Hey, speaking of Pat, his son rocked a really awesome shirt in the pregame of that game. I don't know if you saw it. It was that.
No, I didn't see it.
You got to go look it up. It was the old school Miami Dolphins, and it had his dad up there and Sam and a lot of the guys from that defense.
On a t-shirt?
That was a dope t-shirt. Yes, you got to go look it up. It was a Miami Dolphins t-shirt he was wearing.
Respect right there.
And I just want to state for the record, so everybody that's listening knows, Patrick Surtain Jr., whatever you want to call him.
He's the second, actually.
The second. See, the disrespect. I don't want to do that. He will be a Miami Dolphin in the next 2 years. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. Next 2 years, he'll be here. And he'll be with Cam Smith and Cater Kahoo. And we've had some great people in the secondary over the years. Let me ask you, the learning curve that the defense is probably going through right now with Vic Fangio. We saw in week 1, they had a difficult time stopping the offense that Herbert had in certain situations. We go into week 2, they were great up until that fourth quarter, but you're facing Belichick, and Belichick at the end of the day, he's a complex guy. Eventually he's going to find a way to get some success, and he did in the fourth quarter. And then you go look last week, and they only scored 7 points in the second half.
Right.
This learning curve that they're going through, how do you see it evolving and getting better over the next several weeks?
Well, here's the thing. We see the learning curve that the offense is going through. The offense last year was not the offense of this year, even though it's the same offense, but a lot of the same guys. But it took a little while for these guys to learn the sophistication of what Mike McDaniel wanted to get done. Same thing's going to happen with Vic Fangio and this defense. This is all new to a lot of those guys. So it might take a little time. And you see we're still having trouble covering the crossers. There's still a little bit of miscommunication, but we're still not allowing any explosive plays. And that's what Vic Fangio's defense is all about. So do we sacrifice, the big play to cut off some of these crossers? We might have to at some point, because I think teams are going to start running these shallow crossers over and over and over again until we figure out how to stop them. The learning curves you talked about, it's going to be difficult. We got some really, really smart guys on that defense, though. I mean, Javon Holland is super, super intelligent.
Best safety in the league right now.
Dude, he's the best so incredible.
In the league.
Yeah, he got our game ball in the post game with me, Travis, and Seth. He got my game ball, even though we scored 70 as an offense. 2 of those takeaways, forced fumbles by Javon, led to touchdowns as well. So we had to show the defense some love, because we've been so inundated with what the offense is doing that we neglect the defense, for the most part. But these guys now, I mean, you look at it, man. Cater Kohou went on the outside last game, opposite X. and he did a hell of a job. Bethel in the slot is doing a hell of a job. Elliott opposite Javon Holland is doing a hell of a job. And we know how good our guys are up front. I mean, between Christian and Zach, getting Jalen back for a little bit. I know he's still a little banged up. Chubb, Van Ginkel. And then our linebackers start. Yeah, it's like, bro.
Van Ginkel. I didn't know. I mean, I knew he had that dog in him. I didn't know he had that in him. The last couple of games, he has been. I mean, I don't know if it's fair to compare, but I have to admit it's brought back memories of watching Zach Thomas on the field, because every other play on the defense, I'm hearing Van Ginkel with the tackle, Van Ginkel with the assisted tackle, Van Ginkel in the backfield with his name is being called 20 to 25 times by the announcers during the game. And the last time I can remember that from a player on defense was probably Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas. And Ginkel has done that the last couple of weeks.
AVG's, man, he's been on point, man. One of Vic Fangio's favorites to, he wanted Van Ginkel. We didn't know what was going to happen, but Vic Fangio said, I really want that guy on my squad. They're finding very great ways, to get him going and get him playing, man. So, we've got a lot of guys. And look, we haven't even gotten healthy yet, as you know.
I know.
No Jalen Ramsey, no Nick Needham, no Brandon Jones yet. There's some guys out there.
That's the scary part.
We're still waiting to get some guys on the field. And it's going to be tough for some of those guys, because the guys that are playing in their spot are putting up some pretty good numbers. It was interesting, as it was, that Jalen Phillips, who's my favorite player on defense, Jalen Phillips. I was wondering what was going to happen. We knew Jalen was coming back last game, but what were they going to do with Van Ginkel? And then, unfortunately, Jalen had a little setback in the game, and Van Ginkel was back to being Van Ginkel, because you've got to put that guy on the field. You really do have to keep him on the field somehow, man. And it's tough, when you've got Bradley Chubb on one side,
I know,
Jalen Phillips on the other side, two beasts. But then Van Ginkel has been the beastiest of them all.
He keeps on playing like this. He's going to have to, he's going to have no choice but to be on the field, because he is doing something that's really special right now. And I think as the learning curve progresses, I know this week is Buffalo, and I know we got to take care of Buffalo, but Juice, as a fan, if I got to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to that Philly game, man. I'm looking forward to that Philly game. I don't want to look ahead. I get it as a player. We can't look ahead, but as a fan, I'm looking for it. It's going to be great.
We've got some big ones against some big dogs, man. You look at the one coming up against Buffalo. You got to look at the Philly game. You got to look at Kansas City and Germany. You got to look at Dallas on Christmas Eve. I mean, those are the top dogs, man, and we get a chance at all of them. So we'll see how good we are starting this week with Buffalo. Winning up there has always been tough. Last year, we had two possible chances to win, regular season and the playoffs. And I thought we should have gotten those dubs up there.
We should have got both of them. Both of them.
Yeah, we should have gotten those dubs up there. And so I hope that we realize that we had a chance up there, and we go up there and we do what we think we can do. And, but here's the true test. I mean, it really is. And look, we talked about the first 2 weeks on the road. Those are great wins. 2 conference wins, 1 division win. We get home and win big against Denver. Now we have 3 conference wins. Now let's get up to Buffalo and get 4 conference wins and 2 division wins. And that right there is what you're looking for early in the season.
That's a
Let
way
everybody
to start
come
the
chase us. Let everybody come chase us, instead of the other way around, where we're looking like for somebody to win, somebody to lose, what's going on in our division. Let them worry about what the Miami Dolphins are doing on the football field instead of us doing it like we usually do.
Juice, can you explain something to me? We put up 70 points on them boys last week, right? We did do that. That did happen, correct? Can you explain to me why we're 2.5-point underdogs to the Bills? I don't get it. You scored 70 points in a game and you're underdogs the next week. If that isn't the sign of disrespect, I do not know what is. Do the players look at that with a little chip on their shoulder and go, all right, they think we're underdogs here? Did they just see what we did to Denver? And I know Buffalo's not Denver, but come on, man. 2.5, like being underdogs after a 70-point win. I don't understand that.
Yeah, well, Stephen, that 2.5 points means that we're even going into the game. They give the home team a 3-point edge already. So, I mean, no, honestly, I think that Buffalo is the reason it is that way is because Buffalo is they've scored almost over 70 points the last 2 games. They're actually back to being Buffalo. And Buffalo at home is always a beast for anybody that comes in there. So I get it, man. I really do get the spread. So that really, what's that? No, I really actually puts that 5.5 points, dogs, right? If you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But hell, this is the challenge of the challenges that we wanted. This is the one that we wanted. This is the one we've been looking forward to. I know they want to talk about 1-0, getting to 1-0. We feel good about some teams that we play against, but Buffalo is the cream of the crop in our division, bro.
If we beat them and put that signature on there, like the rest of the NFL has to take notice and say, all right, this isn't a fluke. Miami's for real, and this is for real.
I don't want them to, though, man. I want them to sleep on us a little bit more. But
really,
we do this one,
man. I want the respect.
This one.
I want the respect. We've had this conversation behind closed doors before. Like, I want to know what it feels like as a fan to go into the game and be like, we're the Dolphins. It's definitely going to happen. They're going to take over. And I'll tell you what happened last week did nothing to help my ego except boost it as a fan. And that meme of with Bernie Mac where he's smacking everybody walking into work. I mean, that's how I have been around here in Mississippi. I moved to Mississippi. I got my Dolphins flag in front of my new house, just screaming out on we have a golf hole right behind our house. I opened up the door last week for every touchdown. They scored again. They scored again. It was hilarious.
Oh man, you disrupted a few hours of golf then with that. They
were cracking up. There were people coming around to watch me again because every 5 minutes they were scoring a touchdown. It was crazy. All right, let's dive into Tua a little bit. You know, you got to play with the GOAT. You played with other quarterbacks. You know, you've caught passes from other quarterbacks too. You've been watching the Dolphins for the last 20 years, just like me. Why is Tua? Why is he different? And what happened this year that we didn't get the first 3 years?
Yeah, you know, Steven, I mentioned this earlier, man. Tua has had the same coordinator for 2 years in a row for the first time since he went to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about familiarity with a system and an offensive-minded head man and coordinator that is bringing him. Mike McDaniel on that plane, that conversation with Tua, he was saying what he's doing. He was telling Tua how good he was and how he couldn't wait to work with him, man. He knew what he had in Tua.
From the very first conversation.
From the first conversation. From the beginning, he knew what he had in Tua. And all he had to do was be able to install his offense with a guy like Tua. You know what I mean? With a guy like Tua and be able to implement this. And man, oh man, look at last year. You see how we're playing the game nowadays, right? This year. Last year, there were some shifts. There were some motions. We had some issues with it. Look at how many more shifts and motions we have this year where there are no issues because these guys, that second year in the system, Tua's second year with an OC and a head man that is so dynamic in his play design and Tua being so on point with learning it and knowing what Mike, I always say Mike like he's my boy, Mike McDaniel, Coach Mike McDaniel wants.
He's everybody's boy. He's got that demeanor about him.
Oh, man. And the more they start doing this, man, the more fun they're going to have drawing things up. But keeping that whole offense the same, Steven, is the key. Offensive line is pretty much exactly the same. You know, a bunch of the same guys. There's really nobody that really infiltrated. You know, Kendall Lamb came in and then did a hell of a job.
Eichenberg stepped in last week a little bit.
Eichenberg stepped in. He's going to have to probably do it again this week as well. But you look at all the other guys, all the skill guys, all the wide receivers other than Chosen are the same. You know,
Chosen's still out here catching 63-yard bombs from the South Florida boy himself, Mike White. I mean, that was
South Florida,
right? It was amazing.
South Florida, man.
I love that connection.
I was a little like, man, why are we throwing bombs on him? But
oh, hold up now. So timeout, Juice. Were you okay with not going for the record? Did you understand it? Because as a fan, we wanted the record, Juice. We wanted that 73 points.
I was great with not going for the record.
Okay. All right.
Here's the thing about it. I go both ways with this, Steve. I'm like, if we break the record by Brooks breaking a run, a long run and gets in, or short whatever run it is and gets in, that's one thing. Kicking a field goal up 50, you just can't, bro. You just can't do it. Karma, like Coach talked about afterwards, man. Karma is a bitch. And we don't want that. We don't want that on us, man. Look. We've still got what'll be.
What's the difference between 70 and 73 points? Juice? Come on, man.
We're 3-0 right now. We've got 14 more games to break that damn record this year.
You're right.
Staying there, man.
I've been telling people we're going to hit 50 plus a couple more times this year.
I think we have that type of firepower for sure to go over the 50 spot a couple of times. You know, no disrespect to any team in the league because they're all good and they're all paid to play. But man, it's hard to stop what we're doing out there on the offensive side of football.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I got OJ McDuffie, the Juice Man, inside the building here with me, hanging out, talking Miami Dolphins, talking Buffalo Bills rivalry. Let's dive into the Buffalo Bills rivalry a little bit. You know, you played some crazy games at Orchard Park, and you got to play some great defenses over there. Our mutual friend, Thomas Smith, you know, you got to play him a couple of times. I meant to text him this morning and be like, man, it would have been cool to get Thomas on. I wasn't able to reach out to him last minute, but man, let me tell you, it's that playing in Buffalo is something else, but we get to play in Buffalo in 75-degree weather.
How about that?
Sunny.
How about that? Finally, you know, get a break. You know, they were bitching and moaning last year about how it was here when they came. They grow up, man. We don't say a damn thing. We're playing in 0 degree up in your area.
We've lost plenty of times over the last 20 years where it was, you know, 5 feet of snow on the ground, negative 10 degrees, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So it's, you know, all due respect to those guys, man. They're the cream of the crop, like I talked about earlier, in the division. Yeah, that's on the NFL for the most part. But man, this is the test. It's so much fun to play up there. It's so much fun to play up there and have success. It's so much fun to, you know, get on that bus, coming out there, getting, you know, flipped off maybe by anybody from the Buffalo Bills.
Or if you're Brian Cox, you're doing the flipping, you know,
whatever it is, whatever it might be with them, you know, they're passionate fans. They really are. And I love it. That's the way it should be. It really should be. And to get out there with a big dub, think about that, man. If we go in there and get a dub, like I said, go 4-0 in the conference, 2-0 in the division against, you know,
it will feel a lot more realer after that. It'll be
that's the one. This is my big game for us. I was a little worried about Denver because Denver, like we talked about earlier, was playing okay. They only lost by a total of 3 points. They were starting to find their rhythm a little bit, so maybe they would find it against us. Hell no, it didn't happen. So now I think this team can go anywhere and play anywhere. We talked a little bit about the defense, Steven, and how defense is coming along, and it's going to be, you know, hell, this is going to be the 4th game that the whole defense has played a whole game. Hell, they didn't play a whole game last game. So we're 2+ games with our defense playing the whole game. And then we're going into this game, and now we're going to see how much they progress. Kind of like an offense gets better once they learn it more and playing with each other more. Now this defense is doing the same thing. So this is the game to tell us who we are. And I bet everybody, you know, all the
identity.
I don't listen to some of the national pundits. Now they want to be on our bandwagon. Some of them, you know, I don't give a damn about them because they didn't believe when we all believed.
They sure didn't. And here's the funny part, real quick, just as a side note. So they moved Kevin Harlan from our game and brought in the top dogs, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, right? Here's the funny part. Only 43% of the country are getting our game for free on Sunday because I think like the other 33 or 35% is watching the great game that it'll be. Chicago versus Denver is getting like 33% of the country, but we're only they didn't even give us over 50%. I don't get it. Like, we just scored 70 again. It's the disrespect that even when we're good, the national media is like, you know what? I'm not ready to buy into it just yet. And I don't know if they ever will be truly. And maybe that's
bro. You got to take that 40-something% though, man. You got to take something. You got to take that. I mean, that's big time right there.
Juice, you got to remember, I didn't grow up in South Florida. I'm a military brat. I grew all up and down the East Coast. So I fell in love with the Dolphins for multiple reasons, but I got to see a lot of games nationally because Marino was the big draw, as well as this guy named OJ McDuffie, you know, who I got to watch.
I wasn't draw. It was Shula and Marino. Thank goodness I was on that squad because my family got to watch me in Ohio all the time.
I'm serious. I've talked to a ton of people that are like, yeah, we got Dolphins games all the time up here because Marino was always the big draw.
Yeah, and that's why we're
yeah,
so nice overseas too, bro. Because they were showing us overseas, and they love us over there. I can't wait for the game in Germany against KC. I think that we might have a home field advantage over there, bro. It could be nice for a road game.
Well, let me tell you, a big shout out to the Miami Dolphin Germany fan club over there.
Yes.
They're absolutely amazing. Dirk, Marcus, the entire crew, and I know I'm forgetting a lot of people over there, but that Dolphin fan club in Germany, Juice, top notch. One of the best overseas.
Bro, I wish we could be over there with them, man. I wish we could be over there with them, bro. That'd be so much fun.
They're throwing a party. They're throwing a get together.
They are. You know they're gonna do. I gotta work. I do
hey, look,
pre and post game show here. So.
I know you work for the team, but hey, guys, look, I had to call out. I got to go overseas. Okay, I got to go overseas. I got to
go see a specialist in Germany. I got to go see a specialist in Germany.
It just happens to be on the same weekend that the Dolphins are there. What do you want me to do? I don't know. All right, I know I only got you for a few more minutes. I appreciate you taking the time today, man. How you been?
I can push to 11. I can push to 11.
You can push to 11. All right, man. I got you for 20 more minutes. I like it. Last time I saw you was my birthday. That was a fun episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. How'd you end up the next day or that night and the next day?
It didn't work out well for me, Juice. Okay. Didn't work
out well. You guys get my
all.
money? Did I send my money in?
You did not, but I wasn't going to call you out on that.
All right. I need to send that in. I forgot about that. Let me get my. I gotta get paid. I gotta pay the man. I asked for it. I gotta pay it, man. What I say? $100.
$100.
Yep, it's coming your way, bro. Hey, hit me on a text where I need to send it to. All right,
I got you, my man. You coming up here is payment enough. Let me tell you.
Nah, man. Hey, man, I'm a man of my word, bro. I gotta make sure I take care of that for sure.
I like it. All right, let's dive into.
I like that. Dive in like the fish tank.
I mean, come on. The pun was intended there, man.
Appreciate it.
Let's dive into two people I really want to talk about. Devon Achane, and we haven't seen a lot of Cam Smith, but I think that you're going to see a lot of him. So let's start with on the offensive side of the ball with Devon Achane. We flirted, apparently. The rumors were out there that we flirted with every running back this offseason in the NFL. Yeah. And the Dolphins never executed. They never made a move. And ultimately, I think it was because of what they believed Achane was going to be or could be. We saw that on Sunday. Yeah. Did McDaniel know this all along? Is this something that the Dolphins knew, and that's why they didn't probably execute the trade at the end of the day for Taylor or Saquon or anybody for that matter?
Yeah, they knew what they had in that running back room for sure. Of course, those guys are all great. The names you're talking about are all great guys. Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Taylor. They're all great players. But what we have in our locker room, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, only one that's new in that backfield is Achane. The rest of those guys, and I heard that, man, I think who was it said? I think Mostert said the other day that he's like a sponge. So the fact that he's learning everything the way he is the reason he's getting these opportunities. This offense is not easy whatsoever. So the fact that he's ahead of the curve in terms of learning this offense, that's why he's getting these opportunities. And boy, oh boy, do they know they have. Look, Savon Ahmed's a good running back, really good running back. We know what Mostert is. He's a really good running back. Now you got a three-headed monster. I hated losing Miles. Miles Gaskin's one of my favorites of all time.
He just got released by Minnesota again this week.
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough sled, man, moving forward. But he's gonna be on rosters. Yeah, he's gonna be on rosters left and right, man. He just gotta be ready to travel now and just make that money moving forward. It's gonna be hard for love the Miles. We'll talk about him on another episode we get on here. But at the same time, though, Achane has learned so fast, and he's part of a three-headed monster. Really, that you got a guy like Ahmed,
running back by committee. Running back by committee.
That's the way it is. Yeah. That's the way it is. But we got
here's the thing,
Juice,
the last 10 running backs to win a Super Bowl, only one of them made over $4 million, and only 4 of them made over $1 million. So most of those teams had veterans or were all running back by committees. And yes, it's nice to have somebody like Jonathan Taylor. It's nice to have somebody like Saquon Barkley. But we see what those teams are like without those guys because they're so dependent and reliant on them that, again, success is by how you deal with draft picks and free agency. And one thing I can say right now is Chris Greer's the man, because he he listens to the people that are around him, because it sounds like McDaniel was Achan's boy to be able to go get, and Cam Smith is Fangio's guy.
Right.
So, he does such a good job of listening to the people around him and executing on that. And, he told us all offseason, hey guys, don't worry about the O-line. And I was one of those fans that was pounding the table. This is the only thing. I'm not convinced about this O-line. And I'm wrong. And I'm glad I'm wrong. But yeah, it seems like Greer's definitely got the nail on the head with everything right now.
Yeah, he really has done a great job. And his cool and calmness has been unbelievable about it, because a lot of these GMs they succumb to the pressure, peer pressure, and not peer pressure, not fan pressure. Yeah, fan 100%. Pressure. Yeah. They always talk about if you do what the fans say, you end up being one of them. If you do what they say, you're gonna end up being one of those fans. Don't it's gonna be out there with them.
I get all the time, Juice. Steven, I'm glad you're not the GM, because you're right. I would have been wrong. I'm okay with saying that, but it's been such a breath of fresh air to see Austin Jackson come into his own, Kendall Lamb become the player that he's being. I still have my situation about Connor, because I feel like snapping the ball comes with being a great center.
He had a good game this last game, though. He had a good game this last game until he got hurt.
Juice, every 2 to 3 you get 2 or 3 snaps every game with Connor. That's going to be hold your breath snaps. Okay. Now, Liam Eichenberg is the same way too, but that's why I still want like a center to come onto the team that is a true center. Uvalde, the young guy that they got, I think that's on the practice squad right now. I could see him being activated for Sunday.
You need a backup guy. He'll be activated probably, which will mean you have to make an adjustment on other positions. But yeah, I hear you.
OJ looked badass with that NFL helmet on. Shout out to Cool and Heat with the $10 donation. What are you ready to go take a couple snaps from Tua, Juice?
Hell yeah. If you throw me a now route, I'm not running anywhere. Give it to me right now, and I'll go get you. Yeah, I'll give you 1 or 2 yards, and then then come get me. Tap in to come get me.
I like it. All right, let's get into the tight end room a little bit. Looking at Julian Hill, what he's done. The Dolphins had Mike Gesicki for the last 3 years. How do you replace somebody like that? It seems to me that Durham Smythe has stepped up major. And Julian Hill looks to be, look, there was a couple plays last week that I questioned, but he seems to be coming in his own. What are your thoughts about the tight ends?
Bro, I love it. I mean, Mike didn't fit the system. And I love Mike, of course, Penn Stater. The system is what it is, and they need some guys that can block. And one thing I did say, it's so funny because I talked to my man Travis Wingfield, and I'm like, Travis, please, when you look at all 22, please tell me how Julian Hill blocked, because it looked like he had an incredible night out there.
He had 2 bad blocks that were noticeable.
Yeah,
but he was.
But they asked a lot of him.
Yeah,
they asked a lot of him as a blocker. You know what I mean? And I thought he was covering people up, and that's an extension of that offensive line that we talked about earlier. That offensive line is covering people up, but we've got to have somebody in the back. Alec Ingold is a beast.
Oh my God!
Don't go head to head with him, man, because he's gonna bring it like he does all the time. Then you got Julian Hill, who's coming on some wham blocks, some backside blocks that did an amazing job of busting this open for these guys as well. It starts with all those guys, but then there's a couple other guys like Alec Ingold and Julian Hill that have to go in there and be special. So the combination of Julian Hill and Durham Smythe is a hell of a combination for us at tight end.
The Dolphins have had some really great luck with fullbacks over the years. One person that comes to mind is Lusaka Polite, and he was like the last big fullback that I can remember in my mind that was really, really great for the Dolphins. And now we have Alec Ingold, who's a fullback type, or is deemed as a fullback. What are the biggest differences between those two? Because they were both great in their own way. And why is Alec Ingold, just standing out?
I think Alec is more of a more current fullback. Most fullbacks couldn't run very well. They couldn't catch very well. But he can do both, but he can also block very well. That's why you need that guy in your offensive situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny you bring up Lusaka Polite because on our podcast, we do Throwback Thursday with some of the stuff we've done with our podcast, and we're chronicling Lusaka Polite this week.
Hey, man.
Look at you. Thank you for teeing that up, Steve.
We're
I
here,
appreciate that.
Me and you, we're here.
Yeah, I appreciate you teeing that up for us, man. But yeah, Lou was a special guy.
He's
man.
great. I loved him.
Only thing, Alec had a little tough time. I know they're ready for him for the short yardage we just had this past weekend. But he's that special because he's a guy that doesn't need what we call giving the guy a bone and give him one carry or give him 2 carries and make him happy. Alec doesn't care about that. He just wants to hit somebody in the mouth.
That's all he wants
to hit somebody in the mouth. And then you see him celebrate the touchdowns, which he should. These guys should celebrate the touchdown just as much the running backs and the wide receivers should when he's doing that job. When Alec Ingle squares the middle linebacker up, and you see Mostert or Achane going left or right or up the middle and going long, that's the guy you got to work because he's the one that's springing these guys. The guys up front, yes. The next level, second level is the guy, and that's Alec Ingle most of the time that's getting them to the secondary. Now, if you got a wideout or two that wants to block, which Wes Walker wants them to do, now we get the home runs. That's how you hit home runs with all those three people working on all those different levels. And that's what our fullback, Alec Ingle, and of course, Julian Hill has been doing for us. It's been great. It's been a breath of fresh air because I was trying to tell people in the preseason, I'm like, if the Dolphins wanted to go out and spend $10 million or go get a top-tier wide receiver, they would have kept Gesicki for all intents and purposes. He was somebody who didn't fit the system here, and I loved him. He was great. But the way that McDaniel's offense is designed is the tight ends need to be great blockers, and they need to be able to get enough snaps in there. Look, last year, Ingold had, was it a broke hand or a broke finger or something?
Right. And he was in there blocking. Like, he was still playing because he needed to be in there blocking. Now he's 100% healthy, and he looks to be like he's that dog. But I love him, and I think he's going to be one of the biggest assets for the success of this offense in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, it's all encompassing, man. It really is. We got a bunch of guys that are pretty damn good at what they do, and that's what you really want. And then you got an orchestrator in QB1, Tua Tagovailoa, that is really, he trusts everybody. He's confident. That's the key. Everybody. Yeah, exactly right. He doesn't have to force. Tyreek's gonna be open all the time, but you see him working in with Craycraft, with Berrios. When Waddle gets back, you seen Love and Durham Smythe whenever he needs to. And he's finally finding his backs when needed. Tua sees the field so well that all these guys can go out there and eat, and you make a defense pick their poison. And that's the best thing about this team right here. We're not one-dimensional. We're not even two-dimensional, I don't think. I don't know what dimension we are, but we are a team that is going to get challenged this week. But we'll see if we can use other assets when certain assets are taken away, and that's the key. What can you do if they make an adjustment to take Tyreek away? What can we do with the run? If they take the run game away, do we have another wide receiver, tight end combination that can, to take the pressure off of them? So any defense that goes against our team right now, until proven differently, they're going to have to pick their poison on what they're going to try to stop.
Now, one thing I do want to dive into real quick is
I like that. Just keep diving in, bro. Keep diving in.
I'm doing it. Hey, if you ever need a fill-in, you let me know. I'm there. I'm there for it because I already got the lingo down. Okay.
I know that's right.
One thing I really want to dive into, look, we got to be critical in some area. And I was critical in the preseason. I was critical in training camp. I'm critical now. I miss Darren Rizzi. Okay. I miss Darren Rizzi. Danny Crossman, I'm scratching my head a little bit about what's going on with the special teams. They gave up another touchdown last week. Yeah. And the punt returns and the kickoff returns, I'm still not seeing that explosiveness the way I was hoping to see it this year. Explain special teams and your view of it right now from, coverage on kickoffs to, punt returns and kick returns.
Yeah, all return game is tough. It's tough to be successful on punt return, kick return. But we should be more successful in coverage. I know late in that game, of course, you look at it and you got some guys in there that probably are playing in a position on kickoff team that aren't supposed to be there being up that many points, but they still got to go out there and perform a job. There's only a certain number of guys, as you know, 47 guys that are dressed out for a game. And so most of those guys that aren't starters, the first 22, which really is really first 15 because you got some guys that really aren't starting the game, but they're starters per se. But those other 15 or 16 guys are all special teamers for the most part. So
I feel like that's what Justin Bethel made this team originally, was special teams.
Right. And that's how most people are. If you're not a starter, you better bust your ass on teams. That's how you stand.
Paul Aikens made a career out of it here.
Right. There's a few guys that's all they do. I mean, we talk about our long snapper, punter, kicker. That's what they do on teams. But there's some other guys that are third team. Look, you can see Van Ginkel still on teams. He's going to be on teams.
He's out there gunning
for his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
There are a bunch of guys. There's offensive guys that are going to be on teams. You have to be on teams, and you only dress so many guys.
How do you clean it up, though, I guess is my question, because when Darren Rizzi went through 5 coaching changes, OJ, and Danny Crossman, I think it was 26th ranked or 22 or 26th ranked special teams last year. And I don't know how much it's really improved this year. I just want somebody to kind of tell me it's going to be okay. That's what I'm looking for from you right now, Juice.
Well, if you're talking about, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Okay.
But what can What can Crossman do about missed field goals, blocked field goals, and nobody's ever seen that happen in New England? That was I'd never seen that.
I said on my show, I said, Bill Belichick has single-handedly changed what field goals look like and how you play against it over the next. Like, he changed football with that play.
Yeah. Well, I said the same thing, but I said this: that blocked field goal is like spike play. You only do it once. Nobody's gonna fall for that anymore. That's a done deal now. Because that guy had the time to snap up. So what you're going to do now is he knew the breathing. Snapper.
He knew Bailey's
exactly.
breathing.
Now your long snapper is going to have to mix it up. He's going to have to mix it up now.
It's like a pitcher in baseball. It was his tail. It was like a pitcher having a tail on if he's going to throw a curveball or a fastball. Bailey had a tail, and Belichick it's crazy to me that he found that out.
Bailey's tail. It's probably Ferguson's tail. It was more the snapper than it probably was.
He said it was the breath that Bailey took. He said when he took a deep breath, that's when he knew he would put his head down to take a snap. And he said he knew that because he had watched him for 2 years or whatever when he was the punter there. And he knew he had a tail there, and they could never get it fixed. There was never a reason to. Nobody ever saw it except for Belichick. But
it has to stop, really, honestly, at the center position. It's not about the holder in that situation. It's got to be the center that changes that up a little bit. And, because the center itself, you look at that, that's a hell of a timing play, but it's got to be a center's rhythm that does that.
That's Ferguson. That's on Ferguson.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Exactly right.
I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
I'm
saying.
All right,
I thought real quick before, I thought that if Denver had a chance, Mike Westhoff, who's assistant head coach for Denver, would have had some type of wrinkle that I guarantee he was ready to unveil against us because, coming back home, playing against the Dolphins, but we didn't give him a chance. And thank goodness we didn't.
When you're down that much, they're like, we can't play this card this week. Nope, we're not going to do it.
Exactly right.
I'm not going to do it. Now, I will tell you, I was very surprised Russell Wilson played the entire game. I thought he would have been out.
Yeah, they did Daniel Jones to him, didn't they? They left him in there. I thought Russ didn't play bad.
Russ. Here's my thing. I just think that Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, that's a bad match. I don't think they're going to work well together personally.
Well, thank you. I don't care. Like you don't care, right?
All right, last thing, totally unrelated, man. But I got to ask you because you're a Miami sports fan. Period. We didn't get Dame yesterday, man. Yeah. Didn't happen. I was a little sad about that, man. What are the Heat going to do? What is Pat Riley going to do, OJ?
Yeah, from what I understand, and from Dame's agent, man, they did it. The Heat did everything they could do to facilitate. Did
you see the trade offer that came out yesterday? Yeah. They offered a third of the team. They gave that. It was a king's ransom, and the only reason Portland didn't do it is because they didn't want to give in to Dame's request to go to Miami.
Exactly right. It was a big middle finger to Dame. Exactly. But look, Dame still, he's still going to a great team who are now the favorites to win it all. But I think the bottom line was they didn't want to give Dame what he wanted, which is messed up because Dame gave him 11 years.
He gave him 11 years, and they never put a team around him in Portland at all.
And he didn't bitch and moan until now he's ready to go towards the end of his career and find a way to win. How do you not How do you not grant this man his wishes and be that bitter about him wanting to? Why wouldn't he want to leave?
Well, I'll tell
Honestly.
you, on Twitter yesterday, or on X, whatever you want to call it now, the fans were, saying Pat Riley can't get a second person in here. He's tried 4 times since Butler's been here, and he just can't get another star to come in.
Yeah,
and
but
I don't
that's
get
not
it.
right, though.
I don't think it's fair to put it on Riley personally.
Yeah, Dame was coming, man. You look. You talk about the offers. That has nothing to do with Pat. Pat
tried. Pat tried to do it. They just don't want to see everybody in every sport's always a hater of Miami. That's why McDaniel and the Dolphins need to be like, all right, don't worry. We're going to take care of it. We're going to bring you all a championship. By the way, can you imagine a Super Bowl? Just real quick.
Stop.
Close your eyes.
Don't play at me like that. Don't play at me like that.
Round.
Don't play me like that.
I'm going to Vegas, man. I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah, man.
I already got my room booked. I don't care what anybody says. I got that confidence. We're going.
Bro, that'd be pretty amazing, and I would love for.
We're gonna have a beer out there, you and I. We're gonna have a drink, and we're gonna be like, man, remember that time you were on Clock Blockers?
Yep, yeah, we're definitely having cocktails, man. Until I got to work, I probably got to work most of that week, but I
know it's gonna be crazy.
I'll find some time to play.
Hey, you're gonna find
some time to play, dog.
You're gonna come hang out with us at Fan Club Weekend in a couple of weeks for that Panthers game, right? That Saturday night, Boat Campers.
I am not.
You're not. Boom. No, I'm just playing.
Well, we've got alumni event that night for Zach.
Okay. All right.
So So I got to go.
What's more important, Juice, the alumni or the? I'm not going to put you in this. I won't say.
Totally agree. I totally agree, man. It's not right. It's not right. Damn, it's a busy weekend.
That's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be down there. It's gonna be awesome. Friday, we're gonna be at Dirty Sportswear that morning, having a live show from Dirty Sportswear in Oakland Park. And then we're going to be hanging out all weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend. It's going to be good stuff.
Yeah, I love Dirty, man. Dirty did a lot of great work for us when it came to our uniforms for baseball.
If you that Friday morning you want to come hang out, we're going to have food and drinks, Vasasaur, beer. We're going to have food there. It's going to be good times.
Love Vasasaur, that Friday morning. Man, that place down there in Wynwood is outstanding. I'll be out of town until Saturday, so I'm sorry, bro. I got to go to Tampa for the weekend.
You just
I got all kinds of great
busy guy, man.
Yo, hey, bro, I try to tell you, man. I'm looking at my schedule now. When you said that, I'm like, shit, I can't make that.
That's why I was like, last minute. Hopefully, I can get them on because I know you're super busy. Hey, Penn State, what they look like, man? That whiteout game the other night looked good.
Bro, I was there, bro. It was dope. It was so dope.
It is on the bucket list. Like I want to go to an all whiteout. I want to go to the whiteout game at Penn State.
Bro, it's so funny you say that because like a lot of people that have no affiliation or don't even give a damn about Penn State, it became one of their sports bucket list things. Like, it's like
it's on the bucket list.
The bucket list thing is like it's amazing. And the whiteout is special. Kijana Carter and I do a podcast. We talk about, these atmospheres they put these kids in front of.
I know.
How do you not go out there and play so well? There were 111.
The atmosphere is right. And look, I love the NFL, but I don't think you can compete with a Penn State whiteout crowd or a Michigan, in the big house.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
Like those atmospheres are unreal. Like I'm living down here in Mississippi now. We just moved out here, and I'm 3 hours away from Tuscaloosa. Super excited about going to see Alabama and Mississippi State and LSU and the SEC country. But I mean, some of these college atmospheres are unreal.
They're better than anything, man. They really are. Penn State's been around over 100 years. All these Michigan's been around over 100 years. The growth of just the fan base and the alumni it's incredible. And so it's like like I said, we had 111,000 people there. Hard Rock holds
111,000 people at Penn State.
Hard Rock holds 66,000. So it's like you're looking at 45,000. Yeah, it's 45,000 more people that are in there, and they're probably there's probably about 30,000 outside that aren't even come. They're not even thinking about coming in because
what's the tailgate like there? What's the tailgate like there?
Yeah, it's sick. You see the RVs line up on Thursday night, Friday morning. You see RVs lining up. There's so many RVs and tour buses out there that it's like for a 7:30 game. Most of the people I know were out there at 12 o'clock afternoon or earlier. The RVs are already there. So they're already getting started.
Promise me in the next 5 years, you and I will go to a Penn State game, whiteout game.
Deal.
Next 5 years.
I got the hook. So I got you. I got you, dog.
All right. All right, dude. I appreciate you coming on. What you got cooking up in the fish tank this coming up next couple of weeks?
Bro, we got so we dropped Bill. Who we dropped this week? Oh man, I gotta get my
You
name.
got so many great
Oh
people.
no, yeah. We dropped Bill Zinfer this past week,
okay.
who was opposite of Mad Dog, and he was incredible, man. Some of the Mad Dog stories were absolutely incredible. So that's what we got lined up this week. We had a chat with Paul Soliai the other day.
We'll see
how when we drop that one. Paul's so great. He's so great. We had Top Dollar on before, AJ Francis, and he talked about Paul a lot. And so now we realize where it all came from by doing what we're doing with Paul Soliai. So we've got some good guys coming on, bro.
Want to give a big shout out to Miami Fan Talk Show for his $10 donation. He said, "Where's the energy at? Y'all smash that like button." Juice and Chris were my favorite wide receivers growing up. Curtis Wood sent $10 on Cash App, said, "This is for the legend OJ in the building." So I appreciate you coming on, man. The people love you out here. You're loved by the fans, man.
Bro, hit me up so I can send my honey that I owe you, man. I owe you for that, man. That was a hell. I love that birthday thing you got going on.
I only do it once a year, and so next year, August 13th, you're gonna come hang out with me that morning, just like Kyle Krabs. We're gonna do it all over again next year.
Bet. Me and Krabs is the man. So yeah, count me in, bro.
Shout out to Kyle. I love you, brother. Thank you so much for coming on.
Love you too, bro.
All right,
you got it, fam.
Good.
Peace.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. OJ McDuffie in the building. That was awesome. Shout out to OJ for coming on and hanging out with me this morning. It's so good to hang out with him and chat it up. And he took the time to hang out with me this morning, and I appreciate it. I appreciate OJ coming through and doing that. All right, look, it's Throwback Thursday. This is a show made by a fan for the fans. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to bring you all in here, a couple people at a time. Y'all can talk about whatever you want to talk about. What do y'all think is going to happen on Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Buffalo, Miami? What did y'all think of Juice and his reaction or his thoughts about the game and the team currently as is? I want to hear from you. I want to know what you feel and what you guys are thinking. Pin the message, pin the link to the top of the page here on YouTube. I just put it in the chat. Come on up. I want to hear from you. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Thank you so much for the people that have donated. William Perry said, "Juice, he had the kids in the backyard heckling golfers." I did, man. It was hilarious. Colin Heat with his $10 donation. Miami Fan Talk with his $10 donation. Thank you so much for the donations, guys. It's much appreciated. All right. Well, look, this week for me, while I'm waiting for people to come on to the back. So when you just come on up, the link is pinned to the top of the page. I'm just going to wait for a couple people to get up here, and then I'll start bringing you on. For me, here are my thoughts on the game on Sunday. The Miami Dolphins have to do something that isn't, they need to make a statement. And that's where I'm at with it. I don't want to just win by a field goal. If we do, great, right? It's awesome we won. But I want to make a statement. I want them to win by 9 or 10. I want a blowout maybe. I think a blowout in this case is 10 or more points. Or 11 or more points, whatever. That's where I'm at with it. I want to win by 10 or more points. I want to make a statement to the rest of the world that the Dolphins are here. This is the best team in the NFL. They cannot be counted out for anything, and that's what they need to do moving forward. And that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. I think anything less than that, to me, will be a disappointment to a certain extent. If we end up winning 17-13, so be it. But I think we're going to put up some numbers, and that's kind of how I feel about it. All right, I got my first person in the back here. You guys know her, love her, from East 12, the sister tailgate to East 32. Awesome, ladies and gentlemen, Maria. What's up, Maria? How are you?
Fins up. Morning, everybody.
Up. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just enjoying life right now.
Congratulations on your move.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So thank you. It's been a lot, and it still is a lot.
I'm sure it is.
We still got boxes everywhere.
And you will for a while.
No
I
doubt about it.
promise you that.
This is still like a blank canvas. Look, in the next 2 months, this thing will be a great studio, but right now it's just a blank canvas.
No, it's not. You're on it.
So what's up? What did you think about OJ this morning? His thoughts?
I loved OJ being on this morning. Pretty awesome. It was the cherry on the cake for a great week.
Yeah.
And the start of another one.
It is. I'm super excited about it. What was, real quick, we'll just briefly touch on what was the tailgate and the atmosphere like for you guys on Sunday?
It was
70-point win.
First of all, it was an amazing win. 70 points was phenomenal. I respect McDaniel for what he did, and we'll just leave it at that. But tailgate, it was an amazing weekend. We did our tribute to Gary. We did a luminary vigil on the beach.
Yep.
We all got to say a little bit. We all had some things to say about him. We were all at Lulu's. Ali said some words. I said some words. And Danny Johnson said some words. And then we went over and we had our luminary vigil. And we said he was going to bring us a win. We didn't expect it to be a win.
We didn't expect 70 points.
Well, we were looking at
the mayor was up top looking down saying, all right, I got y'all.
We were looking at, you know what? He's going to bring us to 88. That's what we were all yelling and screaming. It would have been wild if we brought the score to 88.
If we had kept our foot on the accelerator, which they never would have, but if we did, I mean, we could have easily scored that easily.
And we were all joking around at the end of tailgate because we all had our Gary shirts on, and we're like, he gave us our win, he brought us our third, and he's going to bring us to the Super Bowl.
Shout out to Gary, the mayor, RIP. We miss you, buddy. Yeah, it was great. I heard that too. Ali texted me. She said she had a great time. Look, row 209, East 12, East 32, the best tailgates around. If you guys come out to the Hard Rock, you got to come out to East 12 and East 32. It is the only place to get your tailgate.
The best row in town.
Place, but it's the best place. All right.
It's the best row in town.
We like West 25 too. Just shout out to them too. I want to be fair to everybody.
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's get into Buffalo. What are you expecting from the Buffalo game? Like, what are your expectations of the Buffalo game as a fan?
I'm not going to lie to you. I believe in our team, but it's not going to be an easy game.
See, I think it is. I think it is going to be an easy game.
I don't know.
I got this confidence, Maria, that I'm like.
I have confidence, so I believe.
No, I'm not saying that you're not. I wasn't saying it for that. I was saying that you put up 70 points, and I get opponents are different, right? Like, this is not Denver. Yep. This is a good football team, Buffalo is. But in my opinion, I don't know how you stop this. Like, we're
not going to stop it. That's for darn sure.
Like, I don't know how you stop Tua right now and Tyreek Hill and whatever. And
there's no way they can protect everybody. They can't protect everybody on that field. No. It ain't going to happen.
And I'm telling you, the Dolphins have had this game circled since last year.
Yes.
Since last year, they've had this game circled.
They want this win. They're tasting it.
They do.
They are 100%. Tasting it.
So what's your what's your prediction? Score prediction?
23-14.
23-14. All right, Maria, 23-14.
23-14.
I got you.
And I have faith.
I have faith too. Anything you want to plug before I let you go? Shout out whatever.
Just all of our fans going to Buffalo, just please be safe.
Be safe. Have fun.
Just please be safe. Have fun and be safe.
Don't jump through any tables, okay?
No. Don't jump through any.
That's not
just
proper decorum.
Just be safe and have fun. And
don't be like Bill's Mafia, okay? Just don't do it.
Right. Be fun.
Be better. Be better than that.
Well, we are better. That's just a fact. We are better.
If I see any Dolphins fan jumping through a table this weekend, I'm going to lose my mind, okay? I'm calling you out, just so you know. If I see it, I'm calling it out.
Just be safe. And if you see we're destroying them, please leave before the end of the
Leave
fourth quarter.
immediately. Just run the
Please
other way. Just go.
leave
Run the opposite
immediately.
direction.
Exactly.
I was
Because
texting Nikki Smokes of Barstool, and Nick. I was texting Nikki, and I was like, "Don't be jumping through no tables this weekend, buddy. Don't do it."
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
yeah, man, he's good. He's gonna be out there. It's gonna be good times. All right, I love you, Maria. Thank you
just
so much
leave
for coming
before
on.
the fourth quarter. Love you guys. Fins up.
Fins up. All right, Miami Sports Music's number one Miami fan morning. I had Big Philly in the back, about to bring Big Philly on. Where you at, Big Philly? You literally dropped off. I was about to click on you to come on up. If you guys want to get in on in the chat, the link is pinned to the top of the page. We'd love to see you in here. I want to talk to you. I want to get your thoughts. What do you think about the game? What do you think about what the Dolphins are doing, and what's your score prediction? And I want to hear from you right now. We're going to be on for another 45 minutes this morning. So this is a show that's made for the fans, by the fans, and I can't do it without your help. So I need the fans to get up here. The link is pinned to the top of the page. It's in the chat. If you're watching on Facebook, it's in the chat. If you're watching on Twitch, it's in the chat, or Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It'll be good. He says, if I jump through a table, it's because we put up another 70 burger, Andre John. Andre, I will allow that. If the Dolphins score 70 points on them, I will allow Dolphins fans to jump through a table at that point. Then, Andre, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. All right, let me bring on the next caller. Big Philly from Miami Fan Talk Network. What's up, man? How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, man?
Day.
It is
Not
a beautiful
much,
day.
It's a beautiful day. Birds are chirping. It's hot.
Birds are chirping. The sun is out.
Thursday night football coming up. Great
Thursday
showdown.
night football. Yeah. What is it? It's the Packers tonight?
Packers and Lions, bro, in Lambeau.
Oh, that'll actually be a really good game.
I think it will be a really good game. I'm going over on that over under. So.
You know, you know what? I know what I'm doing tonight now. Well, my mom flies in late tonight. She's going to be here for the weekend to help do stuff around the house.
Nice.
Honestly, she's just going to tell me what I need to change and what I need. She's going to be like, you need to put this up there and you need to put that. And I'll be like, yes, mom. Okay. Doesn't matter how old I get. I have a house now and nope, I still got to listen to my mom.
How's the new house?
It's good, man. It's great. Living down here in Mississippi, we got our first rain since I've been here yesterday. So it's dry.
Well, you did mention your wife's family's from there, right?
Yeah,
so
my wife's family's from there. Yeah. We moved outside of Jackson, a place called Pearl, Mississippi. My wife's like 2 hours south, but a lot of her family's right here in this area too. So
that works out for you guys, man. Yeah, I'm looking to relocate soon. I'm hoping to get out of Miami. It's too expensive. This housing market's crazy.
I mean, look, I want to move to South Florida, but you know,
it's too expensive, dude.
This thing called money. You need to have it.
Thing called money and too many people.
But it's good, man. It's good. All right, so let's dive in. What did you think of the Juice conversation this morning? What did you think of his thoughts?
So I caught the ending of it. I was actually, we just dropped our first video in quite some time, but I did a pre-recorded as the first video because I have a new panel.
Okay.
And so I was doing that most of the morning, editing and doing all that stuff, which I'll probably never do that again because the editing just takes too long as it is. But
I'm telling you, it takes shout out to Douglas Durong. That Douglas,
4 hours to edit all that.
Man.
But
once you do it enough, it gets better. It just takes time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm usually used to doing lives over doing that, so it's a lot more. It is more fun because you have more control, but it's just very time consuming. But yeah, man. So I caught the ending of it. I love Juice. Like I said, bro, Juice and Chris Chambers were my two favorite wide receivers growing up. I actually have a funny Chris Chambers story recently. 2-3 years ago, he actually walked into where I work to do a transaction, and he didn't realize I knew who he was. He's like, "Oh, you're too young to know who I am." I was like, "No, I know exactly who you are, Chris."
I know
Chambers.
exactly who you are. Okay. No, exactly.
So,
hey, real quick, breaking news: the XFL and USFL have officially announced they are merging. It is official. XFL and USFL are merging, so there will be
a nice big
one
league,
spring league. I'm excited about that. Actually, I think it's going to be awesome.
16 teams, right? 16.
I don't know how they'll do it. I'm sure there might be some, I don't know if they'll do 6. I mean, maybe there will be.
XFL was very entertaining last year. I love the rule changes that they did. Um,
Well, the XFL has the partnership with
the
NFL.
right?
So
USFL,
this is big.
they want to survive. It's smart.
They knew they had
survive. Yeah, they were gonna have to merge. So it comes out good. It comes out better too. You're gonna have more teams, hopefully, more cities involved. I'm hoping they put one here in Miami. That'd be awesome. But I doubt they will. But that would be great if they had a team.
Orlando would get a team before. Like
They have one. They have the Predators.
Okay, they got the Orlando Predators.
Yeah, they got the Orlando Predators. I know the Guardians. I'm sorry, the Guardians.
The Predators were the Arena League back in the day.
They still have it. That's the Predators. They still have that team. That's my co-host Turbo. He's actually trying out for them this spring. He's going to walk on for the Arena Football League. So
I was a GM of a local like Arena 3 league for like 3 months until it went defunct. The owner was let's just say he wasn't all on the up and up, and
typically that's what happens with some of those leagues.
A lot,
but
that's a whole thing.
I caught the ending of it. I caught the ending, loved it as always. It's juice. So I was grateful that I was able to catch the end. I'm probably gonna rewatch some of your show in the morning just to catch the rest of that interview. But yeah, no, it was great for the ending of it. I know you were talking about a little bit about Buffalo. I think I was on here 2 days ago. I was on your platform.
Okay.
And I kind of mentioned my concern over like that because we were talking about the whole Denver game, and I was like, I just want to see how they react and how they move on from this type of game. And it was encouraging that I saw a tweet from Armstead. He was on the Cam Jordan show podcast that plays for New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And he kind of said it where McDaniels after the game they did the speech. He's like, cool, celebrate, but let's move on to Buffalo. He was already focused on Buffalo right after the game. He didn't care about the 70 points, and I love that. I like to see that because I didn't want them to get stuck in that 70-point haze. So it's great to see. So I'm kind of happy. I can't wait for this game on Sunday. Like I was just talking about it. I was like, oh, I can't wait. Just can't wait. I want a piece of Buffalo.
So it's going to be the game of the week. It's going to be must-watch football. And
I wish it was primetime football, though.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm glad it's a 1:00 game just for personal reasons. But all right, so here I need people to understand what's about that. What a possibility of Sunday looks like after the game. If the Dolphins do what I think that they're going to do, and I think that they're going to put the hammer down, and I think that they're going to curb stomp them. I'm dead serious. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Dolphins are going to curb stomp them, and the rest of the NFL is going to be put on notice, and it's going to be like, okay, who can beat them? I'm legit in saying this is the best football team that I have seen in the last 20 years in the NFL right now. I think that's how good we are. And I think that will be proven on Sunday. It will be proven on Sunday. And that is my hope. That is your bag of hopium if you need that this morning. Okay. I'm here for you. I'm your local hopium dealer. Okay. If you need that, that's what I truly believe the Dolphins are going to curb stomp the Bills on Sunday. And come 4:00 Eastern Standard Time, the rest of the NFL is going to be like, well, I guess we're playing for second place because the Dolphins are the best. I 100% believe that.
I have to agree. And the reason, so like when you compare 4-0 last season Dolphins to 3-0 this season Dolphins, the offense itself looks so much more put together. Like they're just clicking on all cylinders from the get. In training camp, we had some concerns that they look a little sluggish, this, that, and the other. But when that first week came and they went to Los Angeles, it just automatically was just clicking. And then I think that Denver game was the most. That was the most well put together game on all three phases of the ball, minus that one kick return at the end of the game, which I think was just hey, let's just give them a touchdown and get the ball back.
I know it's crazy.
It's great. They're the most well put together team. I think they're firing on all cylinders. They're explosive. Even without Waddle yesterday or last Sunday.
That's what I was trying to say with OJ, and OJ alluded to it. We don't have everybody yet. We're not
Exactly.
100% healthy yet. People are
Nope.
still out, and this team is still doing what it's doing. There's at least
100%.
four starters?
Most of it's on defense again, though. Most of them are on defense again for the second straight year. Like most of the most considerable, impactful players, minus Waddle. So Waddle's that one on the offense, I think, because we did get Armstead back, but Wynn stepped up real nice to cover Armstead. That was a great sight to see that we have somebody for those games that he's down, because we're gonna have a couple more of those games where he's not gonna be in the lineup. So it's nice to see that, and that they were gelling, which is just as important on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned to see Williams go down, but then again, like you were alluding to earlier, and I've said this here too, and I've said this everywhere else, and then some. He's a guard playing.
You there? Did the internet monster come and get you, Big Philly? Big Philly. Big Philly going once. Big Philly going twice.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Somebody call you?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it took a minute to get off.
I do this show enough that I'm like, it's either the internet monster or somebody called him.
No, not the internet monster. Not today. Last night, the internet monster got me on my pre-recording, but not today. Not so far. Knock on wood. My internet's horrible where I'm at.
Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
I already lost my train of thought because that phone call just made me up. So forget about it.
Look. Here's ultimately what I'll say, Big Philly. The Dolphins need to be dominant in every aspect of the game. And one of the things that I think is going to be an X factor on Sunday's game is something where we haven't seen enough of in the first three games. And that is the pursuit and pressure of the quarterback. We need to pressure Josh Allen. We need to make him uncomfortable, because if he gets uncomfortable, he throws interceptions. That's what he does. And I think that that's going to be the thing for us that we have to do. The other thing that the Dolphins have to do a great job of on Sunday is the offensive line, the running backs, tight ends, fullbacks. They need to have the best blocking game they have had ever. They need to protect Tua at all costs. Matt, I do not want to see Milano. That I have other words for him. He better not come anywhere near Tua on Sunday. I don't want to see him anywhere near Tua. Okay. They better have that picture of that man's mugshot of that man's face in the locker room this week, talking about don't let this man near Tua. There should be a restraining order against Milano for Tua. Don't let this man anywhere near him.
Do we recall if in the second matchup with Buffalo last season, right? The second matchup last season, if Milano got in the backfield, can we confirm that?
I don't know if he did or not, but I know
I don't remember.
I don't want him anywhere near Tua.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because remember that week 1 game, right? That week 3, I think it was the first game last season that we played them. I think it was week 2. When he got back there and he knocked Tua on his back and caused a so-called back injury, whatever you want to call it. After that play, I didn't see him get back there after that, which means that offensive line was like, dude, we're going to knock him out at any which way, whatever it costs to get him away from Tua at that point after that hit. Because I don't really recall him getting in the backfield on the away game in Buffalo.
Well, look, point of the matter, fact of the matter, protect Tua.
100%.
And rush and make Josh Allen be so uncomfortable.
Yeah. So what we were saying today,
you do those two things, Dolphins are going to win big. Dolphins are going to win 100%.
Huge. That was my point takeaways, right? Which was frustrate or pressure, which usually frustrate. As long as you can frustrate Josh Allen, he's going to throw picks. Because I want to see
Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen fight on the sidelines.
Well, they do that anyways.
That's my goal.
That doesn't take much for them to do that.
That's my goal, for them to fight on the sidelines.
That doesn't take much.
I want to see them fight. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
All right, Big Philly. I think that they're calling you, my guy. I'm gonna let you go. I got some other people on the line, Big Philly. I love you, big guy. Be good. And yeah, be good. Be good, Big Philly. All right, let me bring in the next guest. Y'all might want to turn down your radios for a second because I think he's gonna come in screaming. All right, 3, 2, 1. Greg, good morning, Greg.
Good morning. DOLPHIN, 60 minutes in the game, whatever that thing goes, because we're COOK, cooking Buffalo. We're gonna be cooking them. They're gonna be calling their mama at halftime.
I had to give you the air horn.
Yeah.
What's up, Greg? Are you excited for the game, buddy?
I am excited for this game. It's probably the biggest game of the day, and then I'll probably go to sleep afterwards because the other games suck. We gotta deal with Taylor Swift at the
real
Jets
quick,
game.
Greg. I legit have not been entertained by any other NFL game since the Dolphins have played this year.
Nope.
I haven't been. There's like I've watched the games. Don't get it twisted, but I've been like, every game. I said this earlier this week on my show. Yeah. I said every game I've watched, I'll be like, man, I'm glad that's not my quarterback. I've like made that joke, but been so serious about it because it is such a breath of fresh air to watch a football team that is explosive and hard hitting and is legit putting records out there every week, right? And they're spoiling us. And when we watch a regular NFL game, we're like, yeah, 16 to 14. Come on, man. 17 to 14. This game is you guys only scored 24 points. Gross. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Yeah. That's how I feel right now, watching every other NFL game.
Yeah, and then we gotta deal with Taylor Swift and the Swifties. I'm
Who cares about that? Nobody cares about Swift. You know, we're out here dropping 70 points on teams, but the top story in the NFL is Taylor Swift. Come on now.
I know, right? I've been saying I want the AFC title game in Arrowhead, and I want all the Mahomes, all the Kelseys, the Swifties.
AFC title game's going to be in Miami this year. It's going to be in South Florida.
Yeah, but I want people to be crying Monday morning, Steven, when Taylor Swift's man crush is not playing in the Super Bowl, and then they're petitioning to get the game replay. That's what I want. I want people crying.
Taylor Swift, the NFL wants Taylor Swift for the halftime show. They'll be happy with her all year on the sidelines or in the suite in the press boxes. It's Usher. It's Ursher.
I want to see teenage girls crying.
Although, to be fair, I was a little, and I like Usher. Don't get it twisted. I like Usher.
Too.
But I was told that there were rumors about a boy band halftime show, and I was a gung-ho for that. I wanted to see NSYNC, but they did me dirty.
I don't care about the halftime show. You want to know why? Because I'm going to be losing my mind at halftime because the Dolphins are going to be making me lose my mind in the Super Bowl. I won't even be watching.
Well, I'm going to be there. I'm going to do everything in my power to be there.
Oh yeah,
everything in my power to be there.
Well, yeah.
I already have a place to stay out there. I'm good on that, and I'm pretty sure airline tickets are going to be okay too. So I just need to worry about everything else.
Exactly.
And I think I'll be good.
The Bills are going down Sunday. I don't know what Bills. We had Dan Mitchell calling to us. It's a quarter. I don't know what he's smoking over there in Buffalo. I mean, he needs to stay off the weed. I think it's going to be a good game. You know, I hate the Bills, but I'm not going to say we're going to put 70 up on them like we did the Broncos. We know it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. It could also be I also think it could be a low-scoring game.
You can't think it's going to be both. It's either going to be one or the other, Greg. Which one is it going to be?
I think it could be both, Steven. I mean, it depends who shows up Sunday.
Well, I'm going to tell you that the Miami Dolphins are showing up, and right now they are that team, and he is him.
Are we going to be getting Josh Allen turn the ball over, which is what I'm hoping we're getting, or are we
Josh Allen turn the ball over is definitely showing up on Sunday.
Or are we going to get smart Josh Allen?
I don't know who that is. I've never heard of that guy before.
I know, me neither. But,
all right, last thing before I let you go, Greg.
Do you know what Josh Allen reminds me of?
What?
A pair of useless basketball cleats. The guy is useless.
I love you, Greg. Be good, buddy.
You got it.
All right. Miami Sports Music's number one Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Big weekend in sports this weekend, man. Talladega's this weekend. Shout out to Ricky Bobby. Bubba Wallace. College football's good. Dolphins Bills is the highlight of the weekend. It's gonna be a great weekend for sports. Speaking of great, let me bring on my next caller. He is my co-host on Fridays. He's a handsome man. He has this awesome newsletter that comes out every week, once, sometimes twice a week, called Dolphins Weekly. He's number one in your hearts, number one in your programs. He's not Tua. He's Jason Sarney, ladies and gentlemen. What up, Jason? Jason, where are you at? You're on mute. You're on mute, Jason. Got to be ready to go, Jason. Jason. I guess Jason's not here anymore. What happened? Go out and come back in, Jason. Well, it was Jason. I don't know what happened. What? Go out and come back in. I don't know what happened there. I gave him this awesome introduction, and he walked away, and he went. If you guys want to get in, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. I would love to see you get up here. I want to hear from you. Jason, if you're there, go out, come back in. Let me know that you're there, and I'll bring you back on. All right. Let me bring on Tony. Good morning, Tony. What's up?
Hey, Steven. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Steven, I'm going to repeat this, and I know the fans don't want to hear this, but what's that 70-point win? What scares me, there's going to be an this is the 70-point win is going to set an unrealistic expectation that we're going to blow out every team.
But Tony, 70 points was unrealistic on itself, and it happened.
I know that, but let's be honest. That Broncos team gave up. That Broncos team gave up.
They 100% did. But let's be fair. The Broncos aren't going to be the worst team that we're going to face this year.
We can do that to the Giants, but I don't think we're going to do that to the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Cowboys.
I never said, and I don't think fans think that. Here's why I think we're going to be Buffalo and kill them, because I think Buffalo is fake. Like I'm not buying the stock of Buffalo. I don't believe that they're a good football team. I don't care what they did the last 2 weeks. I know what we did against them last year. I know that we should have beat them in December last year, and the only reason we didn't was because of the coverage that Josh Boyer was calling late in that fourth quarter. If we had a different defensive coordinator playing different defensive coverage, we win that game. I know that we didn't beat them in the playoff game for multiple reasons. One of them being we had Skylar Thompson playing in the game. Had we had Tua, we definitely would have won that game. If we had anybody on defense that wasn't hurt, we would have won that game.
Okay.
I know what Buffalo is. I am not scared of Buffalo. I don't believe in Josh Allen. I don't think Josh Allen can take any team to a Super Bowl. I'm just being fair.
I'm going to give you my score prediction.
Hold on. It sounds like hate, but I'm not hating. I'm just telling you, I'm not buying stock in Buffalo. I think Miami's going to beat Buffalo because I don't think Buffalo's that great of a football team. Now, to be fair, do I think that they're going to do that to Philadelphia, Kansas City? No, those are going to be close games, fun games to watch. The Cowboys. Well, I don't know. I feel like Cowboys are great. You know, they killed the Giants and put up a 40 burger on them, and then next week go lose to Josh Dobbs and the Arizona Cardinals. So
every team has a bad game. But you have to admit, every team has an off day. Like that could have been.
Oh, I would normally agree with that, but in this particular case, I don't think that the Dolphins, or I don't think that the Bills, at least from a Bills perspective, mean, I don't trust them, and I'm not buying stock into them. If they were a stock, I would never buy. I would sell. Or if I had stock, I would sell, and if I didn't, I would never buy it because I just don't believe in it. Like I just
Okay. But based on that, this is what's it called? A division rival. I'm going to give you my score prediction.
Go ahead. Give me your score prediction.
47-36 Dolphins.
47-36 Dolphins. You think our defense gives up 36 points to Josh Allen?
Josh Allen seems to show up against the Dolphins all the time. Like any other team, he disappears, but it seems like with the Dolphins, he plays way better. Like
I'm calling this right now, Tony. There is no way in the world the Dolphins are giving up more than 30 points on Sunday. Not happening. Not happening. I refuse to believe that. Not going to happen. All right. Hey, Tony, I appreciate you coming on, brother. Be good.
Okay. Good.
All right. Let me bring on the next guest. Big Dougie B's in the building.
Hey. How you doing?
Big Dougie B?
Doing great. How about you?
I miss you, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm here. I just doing a lot of stuff and hanging out with you this morning. I enjoyed your interview with Juice, and he was one of my favorites growing up, or actually my early adulthood. And I got to say, I'm pretty excited about this Dolphin team. I've been following them for about 52 years, somewhere, give or take. And I think this is the best I've ever seen. The game Sunday was the best game I've ever seen them play.
Dude, it was. I know it was for me. I didn't know if it was for you. And maybe Dolphin Don or Mr. Polk or some of the older. I'm just messing with you. This team is unreal. Like what they're doing right now is they compared the first 3 games to the greatest show on turf in the first 3 games for the Dolphins this year. And the numbers are blown out of the water for what we're doing compared to the greatest show on turf. We have never seen this in the NFL, period. Never seen it. Hasn't been done.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing, some of the statistics that I've seen this week, and some of the things that they're saying on, like NFL Network and stuff. It's just got me shaking my head. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And the fact, you said it earlier, the fact that we're underdogs going into the game this weekend is kind of like...
It's disrespectful is what it is.
You know,
I hope that the Dolphins I hope that the players take that personally, and I hope that they're like, okay, we're underdogs. You're giving it your 2.5 points. We're going to show you how you guys need to be. Vegas is going to rethink the entire way they think about the Dolphins after this game. Promise.
I think Buffalo's going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to say, "Look, you ain't doing that to us," and they're going to be. I think they're going to be hitting it hard at the start of the game. I think the difference in this game will be our pass rush. If we can get a good pass rush and get to the quarterback, I can't. His name escapes me for a second here. I can't.
For who?
Buffalo's quarterback.
Oh, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. It was old man brain there. But if we can get to him, I mean, he's fast.
I get that brain all the time. At least 10 times a week, Big Dougie B. At least 10 times a week. But you watch my show enough where I'm like, what is that called? That person that I should know that's a Pro Bowler? What's his name? Yes.
Him. Yeah. But yeah, if our pass rush can get to him, I think that will be the difference in the game. I'm a little worried, about our pass defense, but I think in the end, it's going to be an old-fashioned.
We need to rush the quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be an old-fashioned 1980s Marino type game where we outscore the opponent, and that's why we win.
I'm telling you all right now, I don't think that is going to be the case. I think we are going to straight dominate them, and the defense is going to come out and be like Waka Flocka Flame. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. I'm telling you.
I hope you're right.
It's about to happen.
I hope you're right. It's in Buffalo, so it's that they play different, I guess, in front of their fans, and after we beat them, I'm just trying to think of what excuse they're going to use to justify why they lost to us in their home field. It was too warm. I don't know. It wasn't cold enough.
BitBop says Finns are first in scoring with 130. Who's next on the list? I don't know. It might be Buffalo. Buffalo might be too. but I'm not scared of them. Like, I'm just not.
And have you heard anything? I mean, I'm sure the TV networks now are all like scratching their heads, like, why did we put the Jets on for 5 or 6 Monday night or 6 primetime games this year?
They knew what those guys knew what they were doing and knew the gamble they were taking. But Aaron Rodgers didn't have an injury history, so like that. So it was a safe bet. But man, 4 plays out for the year, done.
Is there any chance they changed any of those games to better games or anything? Do you know?
There's 2 games that they're on that I think can be flex, but I think we're going to see the Jets for 3 or 4 more nationally televised games that can't be changed.
Yeah, well, they've got the Black Friday game against us, which will probably be nationally televised. So
yeah. So we'll see what happens. All right, B, I miss you, man.
Yeah. Hey, I'm here. I'll see you on the 15th. I plan on being there.
You're coming to Fan Club Weekend?
I'm coming to the Boat Campers night. Yes, I don't think I'll be going to the game, but I'll be there Saturday.
I'm excited to meet you live in person, man. I'm gonna give you a big hug. Big hug.
Okay, looking forward to that.
Big Dougie B. I love you,
There's
man.
a lot of me to hug.
To see you, man. It's gonna be good. You're gonna have a great time.
You take care and safe travels.
Yes, thank you. Be good.
All right.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Dolphin Don is in the building. Another great guy.
Good. Thank you, brother, man. It's good to see you in your new home out there on the golf course doing big things, man.
I was like, the Dolphins scored again. I was telling William's daughter and my daughter to be like, say the Dolphins scored again. And people were just cracking up on their golf carts, and I was like, yeah, this is real. Dolphins are real.
I've had Jets fans. I've had Patriots fans. Everybody comes, man, I love what the Dolphins did to the Broncos, man. I mean, it's unreal how much the whole NFL loves that.
Well, there's 2 reasons why. Yeah. The first reason is because it's the Dolphins, right? Like, people want us. The NFL is better when the Dolphins are good. The NFL is better when the Dolphins are good.
I concur. Yeah.
The second thing is Sean Payton ran his mouth this offseason.
He's a jerk.
And he ate his words on Sunday. And you can't talk about people like that, as Epps would say. And get away with it. And the audacity of him getting mad at the reporters in the post game was unreal to me. It was like, are you for real? You're getting mad at the reporter asking you that when you literally talked about the previous coaching staff and how bad they were. I didn't see Nathaniel Hackett giving up 70 points in a game. Did you?
No, he looked like Eric Cartman. I'll take my ball and go home.
Just stop. Answer the questions. Put a smile on. Go coach your team and shut up. Nobody wants to hear from you at all. That's how I felt about Sean Payton.
Yeah, whiny. Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
100%.
Well, I got a hot take, man. I want to say something. I know as much as we all want a vision going up to Buffalo and stomping their butt, man.
Thanks,
I feel like,
Thanks, Solo.
Yeah, but we don't have to. All we've got to do is win by 2 points, 1 point. Doesn't matter, because like it or not, we got a target on our back now. The whole league, we ain't catching nobody by surprise right now. So if we get Buffalo's best and we still beat them at home, it's undeniable. Okay, now people have to take us serious. You see what I'm saying? It's bigger than just winning big. All we got to do is win.
Bones, no, I did not. Maybe I did. Maybe I would. I never like pounded on the table for Sean Payton, to be fair. But I was like, you guys know what I wanted. I don't have to explain myself to you, Bones. Okay.
All we wanted to do was win, man.
That's all I want to do is win. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bones over here trying to make me feel bad. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Not on the golf course.
Look. I do think that if the Dolphins win by 1, great. A win is a win, right? I'm not gonna call that out. I'm going to be happy. I'll be here on Victory Monday. I'll be ready to go.
It's big. It's huge.
But the satisfaction of beating them by 10 plus points on Sunday, I'm just saying,
bro, I'm with you.
That's going to put a statement to the rest of the NFL that, okay, Dolphins are, it's the Dolphins.
Yeah.
5 feet of crap in the rest of the NFL. That's how I feel.
Right.
And if they do that, bro, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
All eyes are going to be on us. And Fangio hasn't fared well against Josh Allen when he was at Denver. So I'm sure he's had this game circled too. So anything is possible.
Every single person from the coaching staff to the water boy.
Yeah.
The water boy was out there on the sidelines in the game and said, man, if I had to just mix that Gatorade a little bit better, the Dolphins might have won that playoff game. The water boy had this game circled. Okay?
I like that.
I'm telling y'all right now, the Dolphins are ready to go. It's gonna be, come on.
It's going to be an offensive explosion is what I think. And I think Fangio might have a few wrinkles to get Josh Allen on his back.
Oh, me too. Me too. Yes, 100%.
I think Eichenberg actually was going to do just as good as our boy Williams, Connor Williams there.
You know how I feel about that, Dolphin Don. Don't get me started. Okay. If you mean great blocking and bad snaps, then yes, you're right. But again, I need a real center. I'm ready for Uvalde. Okay. I'm ready for the Uvalde era to start in Miami.
Hey, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Who knows?
I don't know if he's ready to block that way, but I know he can snap. So which one do I want? Because apparently I can't get both at center. I either get great blocking and bad snapping, or I get great snapping and no blocking. So I don't know which one I want, but I know right now I'm not happy with the snapping. All right. And you need both for a center.
Bro, if this is the only little speck we got with the greatness of that offense, I'm okay with it.
I know. And look, it's something that I can live with, and they can win a Super Bowl that way. Like it can be done.
Yeah, because I mean, like he said earlier, man. I've been a Dolphin fan ever since '72, before '72, and I have not seen this kind of offense since the Greatest Show on Turf. I mean that's special.
Yeah, 100%.
So
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I miss you, buddy. Am I going to see you at Fan Club Weekend?
Bro, right now I'm just trying to hold on to my job, man. Just trying to work as much as I can and be Johnny on the spot, man. With everything.
Where do you live, Dolphin Don?
I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, man.
Okay. All right. Where are you, near the Triangle Fan Club at all?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to
get out. No, I haven't been there yet.
All right. I need to hook you up with that fan club. They're great. And I'm going to try to see if we can get you to come to that Washington, D.C. game with us, because I want you to come to a game this year. So I'm going to look into that for you and chat it up with them and see what we can do. Because they have a whole bus. They have a whole bus and everything coming up for the game. Triangle Fan Club.
That's awesome.
So,
well, I've never been to a game, man.
We'll go. What are you doing to watch the game on Sunday? You staying at your house?
Oh yeah, I'll be here. Well, I don't know. I may go out there.
Go to the fan club. At least go meet those guys. You know, even if you watch the first half there, you know, or the second half, whatever. Just go there and hang out. I'm telling you, the Triangle Fan Club in North Carolina is great. They're a great fan club. Go check them out.
Will do, man. Will do.
All right. Let me let you go, brother. I love you, man. It's good to hear from you.
Love y'all back too, man. Be safe.
All right. Be easy. All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show. Clock Blockers right here in the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Next person, Robert. Good morning, Robert. Robert.
Hey, how's it going, Steven?
I am doing good. How are you? See, Internet Monster got Robert. All right. I got to bring on the next person. Color. What's up, Color?
Good morning, Stephen D. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Man, I can't. It's the first time I've talked to you since the show Sunday, the greatest show we've seen in Miami in all of our lives.
The greatest show on surf, some might say.
In surf, maybe it would be more grammatically correct. The greatest show in surf.
The greatest show in surf.
Yeah. But yeah, so Anthony got me thinking, man, because I understand why people want to either hype up or downplay the 70-point game. I mean, that's something that hasn't been done in 57 years. And I was thinking, if you think that, let's say, if we all agree that, let's say, 5 years old is about the earliest that the brightest person could know what they're looking at when they're watching football, right? That person would be 61 years old. Wow. So that's how old you would have to be to say you've ever even seen that in the NFL.
That's kind of insane.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anybody saying they've seen that before, check their driver's license. They have to be at least 61 years old.
The Dolphins are doing, like, this is something that we've never seen.
And it is an aberration. Okay,
oh,
I do get that. You know what I mean? It's not the norm. However, so I got to crunching the numbers real quick. I had to do this because we've all played the same number of minutes of football. Every team in the league has played 180 minutes of football.
At least. Some have went into overtime, but go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. But we haven't. And so, or did we? No, we didn't.
No, we haven't.
Right, we almost did, but we didn't because of the missed field goal. Right. So anyway, we played 180 minutes of football. So if anybody wants to say, well, you're not going to get 70 points a game. Oh, I get that. But you could still argue that across 3 games and 180 minutes of football, we are still producing at that level, because we all agree that against the Chargers and the Patriots, there was plenty of scores we left on the field for whatever reason, shooting ourselves in the foot or whatever. We know we could have scored more points in both those games.
100%.
And so 70 points Sunday could be seen as regression to the mean for our high-powered offense. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I looked at the numbers and I said, you know what? How many points between us and Buffalo are we both scoring per minute since we both played 180 minutes? Let's find out how much we're scoring per minute. That way you take away the 70-point aberration. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
We are scoring close to, it's 0.72, but we are scoring close to 3/4 of a point per minute.
That's insane.
Buffalo is scoring half a point per minute.
That's you. All right. So if I'm hearing you correctly, for every minute that the Dolphins play, we average 3.5 points. And for every minute that the Buffalo Bills play, it's about 0.5 point.
No. Well, every minute we play, we average 3/4 of a point.
3/4 of a point. Okay,
right.
3/4 of
and
a point.
They so right. 70 so 0.722 is actually what it is.
Okay.
And Buffalo,
who's probably second, right?
They are, I believe they are. And that does translate, if you do the math, to 43.3 points per game for us and 30.3 for them.
That's a big jump.
This game should really come down to defense. And even if both floodgates get open up, even if both defenses don't show up, there's no way they can keep up with our scoring production, bro.
I would agree with you to a certain extent, right? So a defense is going to have to step up in order for them to win on Sunday. Buffalo needs to know they can't outscore us, and we need to know that if any team can go deck for deck with us, it might be them, right?
Right. Well, now to their credit, they're only giving up 11.7 or 11.3 points per game.
But they've done it against 3 trash quarterbacks.
And I've looked at those numbers, and those 3 teams, the Jets are scoring. I've got the list still up. Give me a second.
3 trash quarterbacks.
Where is it? Points per game on offense. Okay, there we go. So the Jets are scoring 14 points per game. That's last in the league. Mm-hmm. The Raiders are scoring 15 points per game. That's 30th in the league. And the Commanders are scoring 19.3 points per game.
By the way, FedEx Takeover, if you guys want to go to that, is going to be absolutely amazing. Go to tailgreeter.com, type in the word FedEx Takeover. We got a Saturday night meet and greet. We got game tickets to the game and all-inclusive tailgate. I have a feeling that could be a game where we could get 50-plus points again. Easy.
So I think, honestly, I think their defense does suppress us a little bit. But I think, man, also being at home, that's the other thing. We're only getting 2.5 at home in their house. That's big because that's a pick 'em, first of all, because they're getting 3 for being at home. Plus, it's the Buffalo Bills.
Breaking news: Miami Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa named AFC Offensive Player of the Month.
As well, he should.
121.9 passer rating, 8 touchdowns, and over 1,000 passing yards in 3 games. Color, let me ask.
But real quick, I do just to finish off the last point, I do think that their defense will suppress us a little bit, but I also think that our defense will do likewise the same thing. And I actually have us winning by 14, man.
I think anything below 10 points to me is a disappointment. Like, I think we need to beat them by 10 or more.
Right. Now, I could be totally wrong. It could be a slugfest. It could be a 12-7 ball game. It could be a 42-38 ball game. I'm just looking at the ball is rolling, and we regress to the mean by scoring 70 points. We didn't regress to the mean by getting shut out or something. You understand what I'm saying? It's the other way around. We're trending up. They're beating really mediocre, really bad teams. 2 of them really bad, 1 of them mediocre. And the best one puts up 19.3 points a game. Now, you could argue that's because they're facing defenses like Buffalo's. Okay, but they faced the Denver defense too.
And I didn't see anybody else put up 70 points.
I mean, the Commanders faced Denver's defense.
Now that's the Commanders are essentially maybe the worst team in the league.
But that's what I'm saying. They're actually mid right now. You know what I mean? Surprisingly, they're overachieving to be mid. Basically,
I'll give you that.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, regardless of what they are, they're scoring 19 points per game. And one of those games was the Denver Broncos that we just put 70 points on. So Buffalo has to be concerned about our ability to put up points.
Yeah.
And their ability to keep up. So again, like it always is for us, key to the game may be won on a turnover. But as far as us being able to really decisively beat them, the key, as it always has been, is going to be when we hold them to a punt, we have to score. Period.
Hey, real quick, at Bobby_D93 said, well, this just happened in Western New York. Can't wait for all the free eggs and toilet paper I'm going to get from our neighbors. Shout out to that guy. He's a real winner. I don't care what anybody says. Shout out to him. In the old DirecTV commercial where it was snowing and it's the Miami Dolphins fan in Buffalo and it's cold. That's this guy. That's probably this guy right
It'd be funny. It would be so hilariously ironic if that guy was a Pete's Takes fan.
I know, right?
Everything. Anyway, what was your question going to be?
Look, I looking around with the Dolphins and what they're doing and how they're going about everything. I mean, if they beat the Bills by 10 plus points, I want to look ahead a little bit. I mean, are they undefeated going into Sunday Night Football against Philadelphia? Odds are.
I mean, maybe we've got to realize that, it is the NFL, and I'm not trying to say we can't go undefeated, but like you have to expect a letdown, and I don't want to say that. I hate saying that because I'm in
But
kid mode.
But
I'm
what
in
does a
kid.
look?
I'm
What
in
does
kid
what
mode
does a
right now,
what
Stephen
is
D.
what does a letdown look like from them? Is that 50 points instead of
Right,
70?
right. Well,
You
that's
know,
the thing. That's the thing is that we have to be real. In other words, that's where I might agree with Anthony a little bit. You know what I mean? But we are producing the points per minute, so it's not like it's not that much an aberration. It just probably should have been spread around to 3 games more. Like we should have beat the Chargers with a 40 burger. We should have beat the Patriots with a 40 burger. You know what I mean? And beat the Broncos with a 40 burger. Instead, we got, 36, 24, and 70. You know?
hey, Tua, Barry Jackson just tweeted this. Tua, the NFL's best quarterback per Brandon Marshall, which I think is funny. He said that is the first Dolphin to win AFC Offensive Player of the Month since Scott Mitchell, who won it in November
Oh my
of
gosh.
'93.
The last left-handed quarterback to play for the Dolphins. Wow, isn't that
And
ironic?
Marino only won it twice, AFC Offensive Player of the Month. That's
We
kind of.
might have something down here with left-handed quarterbacks in
I'm
Miami,
just
bro.
saying, our track record with left-handed quarterbacks sounds good. Color,
because Scott Mitchell was garbage when he went to Detroit or wherever he went.
I mean that's funny, man. That is too funny.
But it is what it is. Look, as far as the odds and all that, again, you could almost look at it like we're a half-point favorite going into their house. Sure, it's still a pick 'em, but the fact that it's a pick 'em going into Buffalo after what we've been.
I'm sorry. If it's 1, I'll give you 1, but 2.5 to me, I'm taking that as a sign of disrespect, and I hope that they are too.
Well, I don't know about that because if you look at the previous 2 games in Buffalo, I'm pretty sure they were favored by 8 in those games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That sounds right.
So we're getting the respect, dude. No doubt about that. What it really is, it's the same with the record prediction that they do at the beginning of the year. It's just a 3-game moving average. So if you do the math, the last 3 games we played against Buffalo, the average margin of victory was 2.6.
Alex Putnam on Twitter, who is at Pizzle 90, said, "Where's the best place to get wings in Buffalo?" #Bills Mafia. I want to respond and say, at Orchard Park on Sunday at 1:00 when the Dolphins cook them. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to write right now. At Orchard Park at 1 p.m. on Sunday when the Dolphins cook Buffalo. Yes.
So I got somebody coming to pick me up for breakfast, but I want to leave you guys with this thought, these encouraging words, okay? Yes. I believe we're a 2.5 point underdog because that's what the average margin of victory has been in the last 3 meetings between Buffalo and Miami. Okay, so what we're talking about here, okay, we all believe, we got to exercise this demon of beating Buffalo in a big game in their house with a lot to be gained, right?
Yes.
Well, we're really talking about exercising a 3-point deficit as a demon. Like, seriously? Like, the demon we have to exercise is overcoming 2.6 points.
Well, we're going to beat them by 10 plus. And
that's why I honestly believe that there's a possibility we could win by 2 scores.
Well, I'm with you, Color. I'm glad we agree on this.
If this was in Hard Rock right now, would we be 6.5 favorites like we were against Denver?
No.
Maybe not, but we'd be favorites.
Yes, we would. We would.
At least a 0.5 point.
Color, I love you, buddy.
All righty. Take it easy, Stephen D. Everybody, all love to you.
Good to hear you're out and about, man. If you hit me up. By the way, real quick, one last thing, one last dig.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about your Cardinals.
Oh, I know. It is what it is. We were out from the
Let's
beginning.
go Orioles.
We were
Love
out from
it.
the beginning, but I hear that the Marlins put another beating on the Mets last night, so they're chugging along.
They're like a half a game out of the last wild card. They might creep in, but Sandy Alcantara being out for the rest of the year sucks. So.
I might have to spend the energy that I normally give to my Cardinals on, since I knew they were tanking this year. I figure maybe I can direct that towards the Marlins if they get themselves in the playoffs. Hey,
well,
earn my fandom.
If you need a team to root for, look none other than Baltimore and go Camden Yards, baby.
Well, that's a different league.
Like, I'm straight up looking flights back to Baltimore just to go to a World Series game.
I don't follow that league.
I want to go so bad. All right, man. I'll let you go, buddy. Be good.
Take it easy, bud.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Robert, are you back?
Can you hear me this time?
I can hear you. I don't know what happened.
I got distracted.
Aren't you listening to Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show? Shouldn't you be distracted with that?
Until I have stuff to fix, Steven.
What's up, man? What do you want to talk about?
No, super excited for this game. This game needs to get here, needs to finish, and we better win, damn it. I've seen some ridiculous takes.
Give me an example of a ridiculous take that you've heard or seen.
The thought process that will struggle to score 21 points or more.
No way.
Yep.
Miami guaranteed is putting up 30 on Sunday. Guaranteed. Minimum 30. Minimum.
Like, I think the game will be tight because our defense hasn't played great, but I think it'll be high scoring. So, I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. The stats are kind of skewed because we had a really big game. Then we also had a game in the beginning of a season where our defense looked like trash. But they played well the last 2 games. People with thought processes of, we'll just sit our middle linebackers in the middle of the field and tell them not to move out of their zones. We haven't really seen that work.
Hey, Robert, we beat them on Sunday night. We go undefeated till the Sunday night game. And if we beat Philadelphia on that Sunday night game, I want people to start talking about undefeated season. Okay? Facts.
Steven,
that's what I want.
You weren't allowed to do that till I don't know when. But that jinx and that juju's not allowed.
Okay. All right. I won't say it anymore till we win. I won't say it anymore till the week of being undefeated for that Philadelphia game. If we're undefeated come the week of that Philly game, I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it loud.
Understood. But that's jinx and juju, buddy.
No.
I'm not a very superstitious person.
I don't believe in that with this team. Not with this team.
Wait, why does it change from one team to the next? It either exists or it doesn't.
No, not with this 2023 Miami Dolphins team. No, sir.
Buddy, juju exists or doesn't.
This is different.
This team is different. They are playing a whole lot better than anything we've seen in a very long time.
I've never seen it.
I mean, Marshall Faulk, the greatest show on turf.
No, our numbers are better. Our numbers are so much better.
How much better are they? I haven't actually pulled up the numbers.
Somebody posted it on Twitter this morning. Their numbers for the first 3 games were like 30.3 or 33.3.
Oh, they're like point control, yeah.
And ours was 43.3. We have over 500 average yards per game. And I think that they were at like 300 yards per game or something like that, passing.
So I wish we had more than 3 games right now. Because what I would love to say is you cut out the high, you cut out the bottom, and that's kind of what you are on an average day.
I don't think we're average. I think we're
Steven,
elite.
Everybody has an average.
No, we're elite. Okay.
No. You misunderstood my statement. I didn't call the team average. Your average performance.
No, I understood what you were saying. I'm just saying there's nothing average about this team. Nothing. Not a thing. Not even their points per average. This team is elite, Robert. That's all you need to know.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not
all you
sold
need to
on the defense 100% yet, but I'm not arguing it.
All right. Anything else before I let you go, buddy?
No, buddy. You have a good day. Be
I
safe.
love you, man. Be good.
All right, bub.
All right. One last person, and then I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Nick is in the building.
Hey,
What up, Big Nick?
DVD, man, I'm telling you, man, you got to start coming at this thing from a psychological standpoint from some of these fans, man, because they fight a narrative in their own head that they invent themselves. The first thing he said was the defense is playing like crap. No, one game they played bad. One game they played bad. After that, they seem to be tightening up and putting everybody in the chokehold to me. But these are the numbers that I want you to focus on, Stephen D. In Tua's last 14 games, he is 11-3 and lead the NFL in all statistical passing categories. The Buffalo Bills over the last 2 weeks have scored 75 points. In that same time frame, your beloved Miami Dolphins have scored 94 points. And the only reason that Buffalo is favored at home is because, of course, the home get 2.5, 3 points just by playing at home. And also, people have a tendency to live in the past and not focus on the immediate future. If they really assess what the Miami Dolphins have done over Tua's last 14 starts in our record, there's nowhere in the world Buffalo would be favored at home this week.
There's
also,
no reason that they should be, Big Nick.
There's no reason.
I hear you. There's no reason for it, though.
Also, I'm going to give you 3 names. Zach Wilson, Jimmy G, Sam Howell. Those are the 3 elite quarterbacks that Buffalo has played.
3 elite quarterbacks? I like how you put that.
That Buffalo has played, and they're 2-1 against that elite group. That's all I got to say.
So what you're trying to say, Big Nick, is that the Dolphins, they're going to be the best team that the Buffalo Bills have faced, even if you combined all 3 of those 3 NFL teams.
If you combine all 3 of those NFL teams, the Miami Dolphins' last 2 games has put up more points and yardage than all 3 of those teams combined. And one more thing, I got to take a dig at you.
Well, no, man, not today.
I got you, Stephen D.
What,
because the proof is in the pudding.
Okay.
The first game, we got shredded in the run game by the Chargers, right?
Okay.
3 to 4 weeks prior to that, who was not participating in team drills, practicing heavy in the preseason games? Who was that player?
I don't know.
Christian Wilkins.
Okay.
Come back the first game after not participating in about 4 or 5 weeks, we get shredded. Once he gets the groove and get acclimated and get the game plan, what happened the last 2 weeks?
They've looked good. They've looked real good.
Pay that man.
They're getting better. Well,
Pay that man.
Hey, Big Nick. So I got 120 people in the building right now.
Right.
Did you hear my theory this week?
I didn't.
Okay. I think that the Dolphins are going to make one or 2 moves at the trade deadline.
Don't say it.
Don't
you dare say it.
You already know.
Don't you dare say it.
What you think?
Don't you dare say it.
What you think I'm going to say?
Christian Wilkins for somebody else.
No. Oh. I think Christian Wilkins stays.
Oh, okay.
But
well, I'm open to everything else.
Everybody would think that it would take Christian Wilkins to go get this player.
Aaron Donald?
Aaron Donald is going to be a Miami Dolphin this year.
I don't think we can afford him.
I'm telling you right now, F those picks, bro.
F those picks. F those picks, but he's making quarterback money right now. I'm talking this year. He's making quarterback money.
I'm not worried about next year. I'm worried about
I'm not worried about next year either. But what I'm saying, Stephen D, he's making quarterback money this year.
But here's the thing. We only would have to pay him whatever the remaining part of the contract is.
That's true.
For this year. And then we make the money work for the later years. And even if we couldn't, we can trade whoever we need to go get the salary cap room. Okay. Now, there's going to be 1 to 2 players on this team that it's just we cannot afford to keep, that are great players that we will not be able to afford. But I promise you on everything, Big Nick, F those picks. And
well, F those picks only until 26, right? We need them for 26 because 24, we're gonna be in trouble a little bit. 25, everybody come off the freaking books.
Could you imagine? I just want you to imagine number 99. Now I know his number's retired because of Jason Taylor, but I think Jason Taylor would allow that number to come back for Aaron Donald.
No, hell he won't.
Yes, the hell he would. And I'll only come back if I can wear number 99. That phone call will happen so quickly. Jason, Aaron Donald wants to come, but he said he doesn't want to play in anything other than 99. All right,
hey,
let him.
I wanted to make a phone call. I wanted to make a phone call to Daniel Constantine Marino a couple of years ago.
Daniel Constantine Marino.
I did. Hey, call him up and see what he say.
He can get you 5 passes. Him and Jerry Rice think that they can come back with those Tostitos commercials.
How did you feel about that commercial? To me, I'm mixed bag because I love Dan so much. I think they should have let him at least throw the ball. I think they should at least let him throw it. Just see that beautiful form.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, I must say.
Hey, all right, Stevie D. I know you got to get out of here, man. Fins up. Just focus on those numbers. Remember, last 14 games, 11-3, and leading the NFL in all passing statistical categories.
All right, man.
All right, buddy.
Listen. Love you, buddy. Be good. I had somebody creep up in the last second who got the link. So Big Nick isn't the last person. It's Mr. Hot Dog Man himself, Crypto.
Hey, Steven, why you do this all the time?
What are you talking about?
Every time the Miami start clamoring for a player, it's destined that they'll never get them. When they don't clamor for somebody, they get them.
Aaron Donald.
Nobody like, for example, no one clamored for Tyreek Hill, and we end up getting them in less than 48 hours.
Nobody else is putting this narrative out there.
Nobody really clamored for. No one clamored for Jalen for Ramsey, and we end up getting them. Everybody we clamored for, we end up not getting.
Crypto. Nobody else is putting this narrative out there.
The Cooks of the world, the Jonathan Taylors of the world, and now Aaron Donald. I think that's a symptom of the Miami whole ecosystem, the city down there.
I can dream
because it's the same. Because the same thing happened in basketball just recently. They clamored for Damian Lillard, and what happened? He's in Milwaukee. Every time it happens, I think that's more like a disease or something.
Look,
whenever they clamor for somebody, they don't get them.
About this Damian Lillard to Milwaukee thing, it's all rigged. It's all rigged. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm the only one on this Aaron Donald train. I'm the only one talking about it.
Yeah, and pretty soon you're gonna keep leading that congregation down the path, and next thing you know, 100 million people is gonna be clamoring for him in the city of Miami.
And it's gonna be because of me. I will have started a revolution.
And you're gonna be solely responsible for Miami not getting them.
I ain't mad at you, man. Hey, look, man, I'm not mad at that. Look, look, do I think it's gonna happen? No, but I'm telling you, I don't put it out of the mind that phone call doesn't get made at trade deadline. If the Rams are as bad as they are,
the Rams will probably be 8-3 at that point.
If they are bad, I think the Aaron Donald trade. I think the Aaron Donald call.
We don't have the money.
We do.
They're not going to spend it in that way on the defensive tackle though. They might have the money, but they're going to spend it.
Could you imagine Aaron Donald?
They could pay Wilkins.
Could you and Christian Wilkins on the same side?
Not getting the same money, not getting $60 million between them.
One of them got to go, but I just want him for this Super Bowl run. Just give me him for the Super Bowl run. I just remember there are players that play, just trade for him for a half a season. That's it. And then you can trade him. And then you can go get something for him.
He's not doing the Odell Beckham thing. That's not happening.
Yes. Half a season.
Where you going to rent the guy for a half a season?
I want to rent Aaron Donald for a half a season, sir. That's all I want.
He's not going to happen. He's going to pull an Ndamukong Suh and then blow out a flat tire and then just not perform to the level he need to.
Give me Aaron Donald for 12 weeks, 13 weeks.
You can use that money for Waddle, Phillips, Hunt.
I just need him for
No,
13
they
weeks.
don't.
Crypto.
They
I don't
don't
need
need.
him
They
for
don't need
anything
Donald
else.
for that. They need to pay Robert Hunt, Waddle. Start talking to him now, and then start talking to the other guys that's already on the roster. Hey, they may.
Shamel
They
says
may
give
need
me
to
two.
pay.
Shamel,
They may need.
I said at the
They may
beginning of the
need to
year that
pay.
Ndamukong was
They
going to
may
fall.
need to pay Eichenberg. So watch out, Batman. Are you listening? They may need that money to pay Eichenberg.
Don't even start that, please.
I'm just saying. So Batman, cover your ears. They might need Aaron Donald money, some of that money to start paying Eichenberg. So he's playing pretty good at center at the snaps he got. So we played pretty good.
We'll have to
We
see.
had a 100 efficiency rating after he played center as far as scoring. Think about that number. Big Nick talk about numbers. How about that for numbers?
I love it. All right, man. Anything else before I let you go?
I just wanted to add to the running backs and Christian Wilkins whole thing. I would add this, Stephen. The reason why we gave up a lot of yards in that first game because of the quality of running backs we played. I think Ezekiel Elliott is not even half what Elston Eckler is, or what Denver had to offer as far as running backs. So there's a reason why the trend was in the right direction because of the quality of running backs we played went down, not up.
Well, we'll have to see.
So
all right, man, let me let you go.
Those guys pounding the table for Wilkins, pump the brakes.
Aaron Donald, baby. Aaron Donald. I love you, Crypto.
Yeah.
Be good.
Be good. I'm holding you responsible, Steven.
I know you are. Go eat a couple hot dogs, okay?
No, they ran out. So yeah. The hog market is going out of business.
Whatever, dude. Get off of my show, Crypto. I love you. Be good, buddy.
I love you, man.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I hope you enjoyed today's show. It was absolutely awesome. If you liked it and you'd like to donate to the channel, please do. It helps. It goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. There's a lot of things we want to do here. I want to be able to make this one of the best places that Miami Dolphins fans can come to get their Dolphins fix and be able to express themselves the way that they want to, which is the fan way, which is what we do here at Miami Sports Music. Dolphins with attitude all day, every day. Want to remind you guys, if you guys want merchandise, just like this DWA, Dolphins with Attitude shirt, in the link below or in the description below, you'll see a link to DWA gear. I want you guys to go check it out. There's a lot of great merch right here, MSM clothing. I'm going to copy it and put it in the link. Go there, get your stuff. Solo D will put it in a special package and send it to you himself. It's really great stuff. DWA gear is awesome. So shout out to Dolphins with Attitude and the Miami Sports Music clothing.com. Make sure you guys go check that out. It's good stuff. I think that's it, man. Tomorrow's going to be Spread Kindness Friday. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to have Jason Sarney on with me. We're going to probably dive a little bit deeper into the numbers and stuff like that. We're going to have some giveaways, major giveaways tomorrow. So come back, hang out with us. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. If you guys, Wayne, if you guys want me to play, donate to the channel for that. And I will play it for you guys. I will play it for you guys on a donation. Let's go. I'll play it cooking Buffalo. Solo D. Videos. All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to get it. And I'll play Cooking Buffalo for you. Just for you. I don't know. There's so many Cooking Buffalo songs, though. That's the other thing. Cooking Buffalo. I'm trying to find the cooking buffalo one you guys want. Steven, are you mad at the Miami Dolphins? You didn't get Dame. You need a hug. Hey, man, I wanted to see Dame here. Definitely did. All right. I got it lined up for you. Donate, and it's coming your way. It's coming your way. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Tomorrow, Spread Kindness Friday. It's going to be a good show. Check it out. Hit the like button. Share the link. Let people know that we're here. I think we got over 100 likes today, if I'm correct. 99 likes. Hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button yet, hit it. Next person gets me to 100. Let's go. And I got cooking buffalo here. Hopefully it's the one you want. Donate to the channel, help the channel grow. Hit the like button, share the link. Come on now. Donate and you get the song, baby. Somebody hit the button. So is Fangio, Fangio wants to show his plays he's been keeping in his back pocket past 3 weeks. Yes, I think that we're going to see some stuff dialed up from him. That's going to be crazy. Something to note, McDaniel and McDermott will actually be coaching against each other when Miami has the ball. Yes, that is a good thing. We'll get into that. We will definitely get into that. Bills' offense is completely new, as Sal said. Still the Buffalo Bills. Still the Buffalo Bills. You guys want this song? Song coming your way. There we go. Trucker Sean said, play it. Got you, Trucker Sean. Look at you, my guy. Von Joe says, fire it up, Steven. Great show. Thank you for the donations, guys. Means a lot. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, here we go.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to your first ever edition of Miami Sports Music in the kitchen with the Honorable Solo D. Right now, what we want to do is we want to do a demonstration on how to cook buffalo. Okay? Everybody's favorite. If it's not, it should be. We got some of the best chefs down here in South Florida, by the way. Anyway, what you want to do is go to Buffalo. You want to spot anybody wearing a red, white, and blue jersey. You want to catch them. You want to bring them to South Florida. Bring them to Hard Rock Stadium, and we're going to handle the rest. Week 7, baby. Let's go.
We be cooking buffalo. We be cooking
Probably my favorite
buffalo.
song, by the way.
We be cooking buffalo. Everybody hate. We be cooking buffalo. We be cooking buffalo.
Donate to the channel. Hit the like button.
Buffalo. MIA, we play it. MIA Dolphins. MIA Dolphins. MIA Dolphins. MIA Dolphins. MIA Dolphins. We be cooking buffalo. MIA Dolphins. Right back in this numero siguiente. Had to teach Pittsburgh like a sensei. Had to steam Big Ben like Ben Gate. Took the J train straight through the steel gate. Fresh off a victory and it feel great. Got the whole town vibing. Now it's time for the big cookout at the Hard Rock. Only Dolphins invited. You gon' like it. Come check what we got on the menu. A bunch of players we can eat like some dinner food. If we cook them all right, we'll have a winning team. Cut the players like a feather on a chicken wing. And I know they got the Ryan brothers, so they swear they got it in control. But we spell out the bills of 4 L's down here anytime they go to talking about the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, we be cooking buffalo. We be cooking buffalo. We be cooking buffalo. Everybody hates it. We be cooking buffalo. We be cooking buffalo. We be cooking buffalo. MIA Dolphins. MIA Dolphins. MIA Dolphins. MIA Dolphins. MIA Dolphins. MIA. Who that?
So low, D.
Week 7. Still here.
All right. Wayne D wanted me to play the other one.
Yeah. DWA.
Yeah. DWA. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Play this one too for you. All right, so here we go.
Yo, Solo. We're playing Buffalo this week, man. They're talking about you should be humble, man. What you gonna do?
Humble? Man, it's DWA. Cooking Buffalo.
Oh, this is that song.
Hey, Hard Rock Stadium, everybody go get your grills, man. Time to cook. DOLPHIN. 60 minutes in the game. We be playing to the end. And we COOK cooking Buffalo. Chefing at the Hard Rock. And we putting on a show. DOLPHIN. 60 minutes in the game. We be playing to the end. And we COOK cooking Buffalo. Chefing at the Hard Rock. And we putting on a show. Let's go.
We're playing this all week. All week.
Fresh up off the wind, we was down but made it back. Purple smoke up in the air, that's that Ravens back. We was mad, disappointed in the first half. Came back and cleaned them up.
Donate to the channel, hit the like button.
Moving on now, team feeling strong now. Tua time the anthem, we're about to learn the song now. We got cheater, defense beater. Slow them down, ain't got a chance. 17 through the scene, hit them with that water dance. Anyway, defense straight, got our stock piling. We gon' dig a big hole for him and Josh Allen. We'll celebrate this week, but Sunday we are not smiling. Get your grills and make them hot. Flame them like that yellow light. DOLPHIN. 60 minutes in the game. We be playing to the end. And we COOK cooking Buffalo. Chefing at the Hard Rock. And we putting on a show. DOLPHIN. 60 minutes in the game. We be playing to the end. And we COOK cooking Buffalo. Chefing at the Hard Rock. And we putting on a show. Let's go. Cooking Buffalo. Let's go. Cooking Buffalo. Let's go. Cooking Buffalo. Let's go. Cooking Buffalo. Hey.
DWA. Yes, sir. All right, man, look. Fuck with that, you already know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all see what's going on, man? It's DWA. We live in Miami Gardens, right outside the stadium, man. Got Mr. Let's Go, JD. Hey, look, you gotta say hands up. Hands up. You already know, man. We got Mr. Let's Go in the building. Metro Rail Boys finest.
Let's go, man.
Finest. Shout out to whole South Florida, man. It's DWA.
You already know, man. DWA, Metro Rail Boys. Let's go. Yo,
YouTube is the new home of NFL.
Man, they do it. They do it so good. Solo D is the man. Shout out to Solo. All right, I played the song. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to have that on lock tomorrow, so don't y'all worry about that. Tomorrow's Spread Kindness Friday. Thank you to everybody who hit the like button, donated to the channel, and was a part of the show today. It was a lot of fun. We will see you tomorrow right here on Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. I hope you all enjoy. Be easy. Share the link. Tell people about the OJ interview this morning. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Love you. Peace.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time. Time to cry, time to shine. To a time. To a time. Time to cry, time to shine. To a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds the gift. He knowing when to go with fits. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we in route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't want to overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, you gon' notice now. You should notarize it. They say Tua from that rock. Shout out to Samoa, and now it's time to lay the smack down. You think he Dwayne Johnson? Time to